Steelers and Dolphins channels as well. We will launch those simulcasts. Your picks coming up here in just a little bit. So Steelers fans, Dolphins fans, welcome into the live stream here at Chat Sports. Anyway, Williams 1, Daniels 2, May 3, Harrison 4. No surprises there. Joe Alt 5, not a surprise, but wasn't maybe the most commonly mocked pick. Blake Neighbors was popular. J.C. Latham 7. And then Penix and 8. The shocker of the evening.
That is going to be the storyline of the night when we're done. We're going to be talking about that pick for a while.
Blown away by it. Rome Odunze at 9 to the Bears. J.J. McCarthy at number 10 to the Vikings. They move up one spot. The Jets trade down to number 11, and they have made their pick. Olu Fashanu out of Penn State, so no one does a bean boozle there. Different offensive lineman off the board there, Sperry.
So do you think... Here's the thing, man. Does he start over Tyron Smith right away at left tackle?
No, but you know that Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith aren't going to stay healthy for a year, so there's your long-term.
Yeah, that is very true. Literally everybody on that Jets offensive line has an injury history. Olu's going to find a way on the field. Fantastic pass protector. So has a little bit of work to do as a run blocker, but you know he's got the physical tools you look for. He's a great fit for this scheme from a skill set perspective. I like this pick. I thought it probably would have been Fano out of Washington because they liked Elijah Vera-Tucker, but I love Fashanu here. I think he's a great player. He's my number 2 offensive tackle this year. I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, similar grades. See the player very similarly there as well, so I won't go too far in depth on this one. Comp-wise, athletically, Jets fans know this one. DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Ooh. Similar athletic testing. He's 6'6", 312 with 34-inch arms. One note, surprisingly small hands.
Yeah.
8.5-inch hands, which is like rare outlier size. You can see that brace on his left knee was a meniscus injury that he kind of battled through, which the knee injury overall was a slight red flag, but clearly not much of an issue there. And you can also see from the photo alone, those hands are low.
Yep.
And that's a coaching thing. I don't like the hands low. I like them high. It's just less movement because you're going to get into the shoulder pads. Why bring them up? You're asking to get swiped back down. He's trading under Duke Manyweather, though, the O-line guru. So, I look, he's a top 10 player for me. Love the pick for the Jets.
Yeah, I think that this works. Like you said, smaller hands, but I think that his hand placement is actually pretty decent for like having smaller hands. Plus, he's got pretty strong hands. He does have good power there in his arms. So I think that this is a fantastic pick. I agree with you. He's a top 10 prospect in this class. And I really do like the fit here with the New York Jets. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time, and we know somebody on that offensive line next year is going to get hurt. You got to protect Aaron Rodgers. This is a great pick for the New York Jets. I'm a little surprised they didn't go with Bowers, though, just because you're not going to get a Brock Bowers later in the draft.
No, but
you're not going to get Nolu Fashanu either.
You weren't going to get there were a lot of things you could have gone, and they would have been good picks.
Yeah, I mean, if I were the Jets, I probably would have thought I could maybe get a developmental tackle in the second or even the third.
I'm giving an A. Spoiler for our draft grades, it's an A for me.
I like the pick. I'll probably give it an A too, but like I probably would have thought it would have been Bowers because if I would have put myself in their mindset here, I probably would have said I can get Brock Bowers now and then maybe get like a Patrick Paul in round 2. I don't know, but I like the pick. He's a good player.
All right, Broncos coming up next here, then the Raiders, but today's show is made possible by Game Time. Prices tend to drop as the event gets closer. So use Game Time. Don't stress out about who Denver's picking, like maybe or maybe not. Producer Sam's going on right now. Don't worry about that. Don't stress. Use Game Time. $20 off with your first purchase. When you use code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, Chat Sports. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. You can find some cheap baseball tickets, folks. You can get them super affordable and just be able to have a nice afternoon at the ballpark. Don't worry about your stress from whatever's going on in the NFL Draft. Instead, use Game Time. Links in the comments and the description. Promo code ChatSports over at GameTime.co. Sperry, the pick is in.
Yes,
we have taken the toasters out of Sam Brown's house as the pick. That's an inside joke. Bo Nix Sperry's the pick to the Denver Broncos.
All 6 quarterbacks of the first 12 picks of the draft.
Everyone else is like, yes, this is great.
And by the way, the Raiders, I know Mitchell Renz is over there in Studio B just going crazy, so excited that he is not going to have to call Bo Nix games. Or
can we mic Sam up for a little bit here?
Yeah, can we get Sam on here? Sam, I have been telling you for literally months since the start of the draft process, You are going to have
he says he's busy.
Sam, you are going to have Bo Nix, and you are going to like it. And as a Steelers fan, I cannot wait for Monday Night Football Week 1 because that's what it's going to be in Mile High Stadium. It's going to be Russell Wilson versus Bo Nix, and they're going to win 30-6. Let's go.
Look, let me start positive here. This is a 1,000-time better player than the dude we saw at Auburn. The Auburn player was bad. The Oregon player was wildly productive. He has athletic ability. I think the arm is solid. He never fumbled at Oregon after 10 fumbles at Auburn. It was kind of hilarious how he fixed that problem there. He doesn't turn the football over. It was a 1% turnover-worthy play rate, basically non-existent right there. He has a very quick time to throw. He will execute the offense as it is asked, which maybe Sean Payton was burned by Russell Wilson not doing that.
Most definitely.
This past year. The arm is solid. The mobility is there. He was good under pressure, but hardly faced it. He will attack the middle of the field. Here's why he is a third-round grade. I mean, he's inside my top 90, and that's it. This was a check-down, short passing game merchant at Oregon. The average depth of target was bottom 5 in college football. Like, there was one read out, one read out, one read out. I think his eternal clock gets sped up sometimes as well, and that was a fake offense. That was a Mickey Mouse offense. Now, that's a compliment for college teams. Kind of like how when you go to Disney World, you want it to be Mickey Mouse. In the NFL, it's not going to work that way. This was RPO, screens, vertical shots. It's my NCAA 14 playbook. It works marvelously. But here's the stat to sum this up. Despite 120 more completed passes on 140 more attempts than what J.J. McCarthy did, he completed 7 total passes more on 8 more attempts beyond 10 yards. There was 900 yards on screens this year. This is a very different offense. I think Peyton can make the most out of him, get the most out of him. My player comp is Midget Mariota. As my final burn. I don't like it, Denver. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
Yeah, especially competing against Mahomes in that division. You know, it's Sean Payton is going to have to coach his ass off to compete in that division, playing him twice a year.
You don't have top 10 quarterback upside here.
Yeah, you don't.
So why'd you take him? Because you have to go beat Mahomes.
Well,
that's what I understand. I give analysis, Sam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my comp for him is Kenny Pickett. He does a lot of things pretty good. Like, he's a pretty good athlete. He's got a pretty good arm. He's good with like this first read, but he's not really going to go like full field 4-read, full field progression, right? He's not going to do that. So really good decision maker within that first read, and then he's a pretty decent playmaker as well. But yeah, man, I had a round 2 grade on him for a reason. I just don't see a lot of high-end upside. I think he's probably a career backup in the league. And now
he's starting now.
You're sitting there in Denver, and you got Zach Wilson, Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and Ben DiNucci, and that is probably the saddest quarterback room in the entire NFL right now.
Couple of notes. Make sure you guys subscribe. We have no defensive players yet.
Yeah, no defensive players in the first 12 picks, folks. That's unbelievable. The Raiders got to take one, right?
Yeah, right.
Defensive tackle, corner, because they can't take a quarterback. That's unless they go Rattler, but that's not happening. So this is just crazy, man. Click that subscribe button right now. We're going to be here for every pick in the first round here, every pick for the entire NFL draft, all 3 days, all 7 rounds. We're just getting started here at Chat Sports. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Let's try to get to 374,000 subscribers before I have to go off for the Steelers pick here soon. That's my goal, all right? We can get there, right? Just over 200 subs, we can get there. I'm confident in that. Raiders on the clock. I feel like this has got to be where the first defensive player goes.
I think they like Terrion Arnold. Talking to Mitch, I think they also like Fuaga.
Yeah, and I've heard rumblings about Byron Murphy if he made it here.
He's available.
And if you combine him with Christian Wilkins,
honestly,
that's disgusting.
I'm sure a lot of people here are Raiders and Saints and Colts and Seahawks and Jags fans. Make sure you guys are sub. We'll be here for all the picks for all 3 days. You got to feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Like you've had all these quarterbacks go off the board. If you're the Raiders, who maybe they wanted Penix, maybe they didn't, who knows, you're sitting here going, all right, all these teams, like, I get the pick of any defensive player or probably a top 10 guy on offense this year. I think you're feeling pretty good if you're one of these teams right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. He's personally my number one corner.
Big fan of his game.
I really love his game. I mean, but I really like the defensive tackles here too. You've got Christian Wilkins, but like interior pass rush is very important in the National Football League. If you have a really good duo, like you can really wreak havoc. If you're going to get to Patrick Mahomes, you better get up the middle to him because he's just so good in terms of maneuvering the pocket, in terms of the edge pressure. I could see this being a Byron Murphy here, but honestly, I could see this being a trade. I could see this being a lot of things for the Las Vegas Raiders because I thought they were going to be in the market for a quarterback here, and I just don't know what to do with this pick now.
I think this gives them the possibility to just take best of play. Sam says,
"Yeah, we'll give him Bo," is what he said.
Bo for 13. Yeah, there you go. If you say so. All right, take it away, Sperry.
All right, so spam your favorite team down there in the chat. I'm going to give it 25 seconds. And then I'm going to pick a random team, and we'll talk about him here. Raiders pick is in, by the way, so we should get news on that soon.
By the way, Sam is mentally unwell right now. That is Sam Brown, our Broncos
Well, he
fan.
Shouldn't be.
How is Petey doing right now?
Dude, you are.
Oh! Announce it, Sperry.
The Raiders are selecting Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. Very interesting pick.
Going to run 2 tight end set with Bowers and Michael Mayer.
So
Sam wants to flip that so
you
bad.
just got Michael Mayer last year out of Notre Dame. And now you have Brock Bowers from Georgia, who's a great player, but I feel like this team needed more than another tight end.
Here in the end, and this is how they're going to spin it, this is how I would think about it too, pretend he's not even a tight end. Pretend they just drafted their number 2 wide receiver to pair with Devontae Adams. Pretend they just drafted their Hunter Renfrow replacement. Because in many ways, I've seen comps to George Kittle for Brock Bowers, and I can't quite figure out why that has been made overall. He's not George Kittle.
No, he's not.
I think supercharged Evan Ingram is what this looks here. He's
unique. He really is a unique prospect.
By the way, is Brett out there? Can I say my line that
Brett is out there
that we had to read? Can someone go ask if I can say the Aaron Hernandez line for Brett? Can I say that on air? Wait for yes. This is I'm doing it. This is Aaron Hernandez minus all the murders that went on. Like that's who this player is. This is an explosive and crafty receiving threat who can do a lot of stuff from the slots. In fact, in 2022. That's where he spent most of his time, was as a slot receiver. Spent 48% of his snaps there, 10% out wide, 40% in line, and 2% of the backfield. Like, there's no confirmed testing, but I don't need to see athletic testing.
I'm not worried about it.
When I saw him run away from SEC safeties. Like, he's fast. Like,
he's very fast.
He's a 3-time All-American. He had ankle surgery this year, missed 2 games. That was it. He is a after-catch nightmare. He's averaged about 8 yards per catch after the catch, which is more than like Marvin Harrison did.
Yeah.
Don't treat this as a tight end. Treat this as this is your new number 2 wide receiver, playmaker, dynamic threat, and a supercharged Evan Ingram minus the drops stuff.
So you think he's going to be like a true slot receiver, and then Mayer's going to be the true inline guy there?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Adams is going to be the other legit threat on the perimeter there.
And you'll use a lot of 2 tight end personnel.
Sure.
But you'll use Bowers as a wide receiver.
I got to say, I don't hate it. It gives you a lot of versatility on offense. It gives you a lot of possibilities on the offensive side of the ball. And when you have Gardner Minshew as you're going to be your starting quarterback, and I know Raiders fans right now are saying, hallelujah, Aiden O'Connell is going to be our starting quarterback next year.
Minshew, by the way.
It's going to be Gardner Minshew. So you got to get creative. And, you got Devontae Adams, who is a legit number 1 guy. And now Brock Bowers is going to come in. He's going to be your chess piece that you move all over the place with crazy formations and shifts. I kind of like this from Las Vegas. I'm not going to lie.
It's different, but
I like the thinking from Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco here. That's for damn sure, man.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll pick a team right now.
Yeah, I got screwed.
Buccaneers. Okay. Buccaneers are interesting to me.
They're in the weird range.
Because they actually have, for a playoff team, they actually have a lot of things that they could address. They could use an edge rusher. They could use a corner. They could use inside linebacker after losing Devin White. Like, they have a lot of things that they could address. I think in round 1, probably edge or corner, whoever's the highest on their board.
I think it would make the most sense.
Probably
maybe
what's going to happen.
interior O-line, depending on who's there.
Yeah,
maybe.
If like Barton is there, which I highly doubt, maybe Jackson Powers-Johnson. But yeah, I personally think it's probably going to be like Jared Verse if he falls, or there's a bunch of good corners in this draft. I'm sure Terrion Arnold or Nate Wiggins will be sitting there for him. Yeah. That's probably where I would expect the Buccaneers to go. So one more here, Tom, if you want to pick a team.
Yeah. I see Colts. Oh, say what? Okay. Colts are coming up here, by the way. There will be a corner for them. Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, and Brian Thomas Jr. I think they would have loved if Brock Bowers fell 2 more spots. They would have been very, very happy right there. But I think that, again, when you're in this range right now, the Saints pick, who they're listening for trade offers, by the way, the Saints are. Maybe Philadelphia. They were rumored to be trading up. We'll see. Saints, if a trade down or pick somebody. Colts, Seattle, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, even. Like, if you got to be feeling great right now.
Yeah, if you wanted a defense, you are ecstatic.
Or O-line has not really gotten hot yet.
Yeah.
I think it's about to.
Yeah, especially if they take a player here, it's going to be a tackle because they need 2 tackles, all right? Trevor Penning stinks. And then Ryan Ramczyk, you don't know if he's going to play football again, right? So you need to take one right now for sure. I don't know which one it is. I would probably go with Fotano out of Washington is probably who I'd take, but
gives them position flexibility too.
Yeah, but there's also Talise Fuanga here, who I really like as well.
Slightly surprised he's there, but I don't think he's going to last that much longer.
Yeah.
Although maybe he does slide. Maybe teams don't think he can play tackle. In which case, like that's how guys like Fuanga and Feltanu fall. They don't trust the tackle, but kind of like Graham Barton too.
Absolutely. So, what's crazy is I think the New Orleans Saints are going to take a tackle here, Tom. And then it wouldn't surprise me if the guy that I kind of connected to the Colts to start today's exercise, Brian Thomas Jr., is the pick for the Colts. And we might go the first 15 picks without a defensive player, which would just be unprecedented. I don't know if I'll ever see that again in my lifetime.
Probably not.
And it's not like there's bad defensive players. Like I have a super high grade on Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, we got 2 super chats here. So we got Cody who goes, okay, so producer Jack is letting me know this is Michigan Football Report legend Cody Mumford. Is that how you say it? Anthony, go blue. Thank you so much, Cody. We got more super chats here. Jeff Davis here, $5 super chat, says just ready for the Cowboys to fumble the 24th pick or trade out of the first round. Thoughts, Tom?
The vibes are bad, folks.
$5 super chat from Lone Wolf, who says for the Cowboys, W/trades. 30 Graham Barton, 35 Jordan Morgan, Trey Benson, 87 Edgerrin Cooper, and Justin, I don't know how to say his last name. Aboyshby, great at funny.
I don't know. It's an A. I don't know how we're getting all those picks, but I love it.
Lone Wolf.
Barton isn't going to 30, by the way.
Probably not. $2 super chat from Rob W. Thank you so much, Rob. We got $10 from Duncan, says, hey, Tom, with all the offensive talent falling, do we still go O-line? It seems like everyone might GT got jump at as many of these O-line as they can, and they won't be there. Might as well go D-line.
Very well might happen. And we'll know, I think, around the Dolphins pick how that's going to play out there. So I would not be surprised if that ends up happening. So we'll wait and see. But that's a real possibility. They get jumped, and they take like a Darius Robinson at 24.
Saints haven't taken a pick yet, which is, I think they're definitely looking to trade down. $10 super chat from Marcus Arnold says, I don't see any good left tackles in the first. Do the Cowboys take the best left guard or wait until later, take the best linebacker with 24?
I think if there's a guard that they like, if it's like, Faltanu falls or Barton there, or maybe a center, I think they're going to take him.
Sure, yeah.
And then the linebacker, the Edgerrin Cooper, I kind of wouldn't like it.
Yeah, this is a bad year to want to need an inside linebacker, my friend. It is not good whatsoever. We have a pick here for the New Orleans Saints. Not yet? Not confirming.
Go back up to the top. It's there. We're good.
All right, there it is. We have confirmation. It's going to be Talise Fuanga out of Oregon State to the New Orleans Saints. What do you think here, Tom? You think they're going to plug him right in at right tackle and then try Penning again at left tackle if they can't get another guy?
I think that's the plan with Ramczyk's uncertainty long term. There has been some pronunciation drama. So all of the pronunciation guides
say Fuaga.
Talise Fuaga.
Yeah, Talise.
And then at a Senior Bowl interview, he's like, no, it's Talise Fuanga. Like how Tua Tagovailoa has the the invisible
it's Samoan.
NG in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, I think for him, it's kind of like either's fine type of deal, like because he's grown up with a trickier name.
And at the very least, they need guard help too.
And
he would be an all-pro guard.
If Ramchek's back, you plug him in at guard. So that makes a lot of sense to me for the Saints. He actually was a top 10 player for me. I didn't think I was going to like him as much as I did. I'm like, there were people like, his arms are bad. I'm like, no, they're fine. The length gets checked off enough. It's 33-inch arms. It's long enough this day in college football. He's a powerful player. That Oregon State offense hit him a little bit in pass protection. Like it wasn't a true drop back, full heavy passing offense right there. There were concerns like, how good of an athlete is he? Survey says incredible. Like 6'5", almost 6'6", 324, and a 5'1", 340, a 32-inch vert, and a 9. Incredible.
Yep.
Never allowed a sack in college.
Yep.
Now, again, I think the offense kind of hit him. He'll do some oversetting stuff, which would be mitigated by a move to guard on the inside. But you're filling a need. You're getting a value player. Love the pick for the Saints here.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too, man. You can plug him inside if you need him to. He's going to be able to play right tackle if Ryan isn't able to go, at least to start the year. Like you said, elite physical talent. He moves really well as a run blocker too, which is something I like for a guy his size. I think he's going to be a dominant run blocker, and we know Clint Kubiak's going to want to run the football there in New Orleans. I like the pick, man. I have no complaints.
Will jump a little bit. He gets a little trying to get ahead of it.
And that's because I don't think his lateral quickness is like elite, so he tries to overcorrect at times, and he can lose on the inside at times in the drop back.
I think it's also kind of cover up some of those arm length stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
which happens.
I like the player, number 14th overall player taken. I like it.
Comps here: Jamal Brown athletically, maybe not quite as good. At guard, I like some Brandon Scherf athletic ability there.
Yeah. I like both of those right there.
You have a starter on the offensive line. You did it. Good job, Saints.
Tom just gave you the thumbs up sign. You need to give us the thumbs up right now on the stream. Right now we've got almost 5,000 likes.
Shatter that mark from last year,
Shatter it
baby.
right now, all right? I will do another Bean Boozled, all right? I hate doing these things, but I'll do it for 5,000, all right? I have my price, Tom Downey, all right? 5,000 likes. We're less than 200 away. Am I right on that? No.
Math?
Yeah. 200 away.
Over.
Exactly 200 now, okay? So we're 200 likes away. Click that thumbs up icon. If we get to 5,000, I'll do another one of these things. I hate doing them, but I'll do it for you. It's the NFL Draft. It's football Christmas. We're getting going here on Chat Sports, man. I absolutely love it. Let's run through the picks here, Tom Downey.
How about you do it?
All right, let's do it.
Give some analysis.
I'll give my thoughts.
Rapid fire.
Caleb Williams. Next Patrick Mahomes.
No. We went over this. We talked about this last year. Patrick Mahomes comps are banned.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You lost your privileges. The draft world did when they said it was Zach Wilson.
Okay.
They're banned forever.
I think that we view comps like just fundamentally differently. Is he going to win 3 Super Bowls in the same amount of times as Mahomes has? Probably not. Is he going to win 2 MVPs in the times Mahomes has? Maybe not. He could, but maybe not.
Probably not.
Okay, probably not. But the play style is the closest we have seen since Mahomes when he emerged in the second season of that Kansas City offense. You just can't say any other way.
Honestly, Mahomes,
like if you have to compare his game and his play style to anyone,
Kyler Murray.
No, it is Patrick Mahomes because he's bigger than Kyler. He throws over the middle way better than Kyler does.
Not that much bigger though.
Yes, Kyler's what, 5'10"?
Yeah, but we're
3.5 inches taller.
Closer.
Just a little bit taller. Are you kidding me? This guy, I think, in my opinion, he is the best quarterback prospect that's ever entered the league. Now, I wasn't around for Andrew Luck, all right? I wasn't around for Manning. I've only been doing it for 7 years, okay?
Yeah.
He's the best guy that I've seen from college heading into pro. I love that pick. I think they're going to compete for a playoff spot immediately. Jaden Daniels, Washington, love that pick. Drake May with New England. He needs to develop. New England, don't rush him. Marvin Harrison Jr. with Arizona, love that pick. Kyler needs a dominant perimeter threat. You get that with him. Joe Alt, I'm very happy they took him instead of Latham. Alt is definitely the number 1 tackle in this class for me. Malik Neighbors, if you're going to stick with Daniel Jones, he's not going to be throwing the ball down the field. You need somebody that can win after the catch. Malik Neighbors does that for you. That's a fantastic pick for them. I don't like the J.C. Latham pick. You had guys that can play left tackle at a high level available there. You went with a guy that I think is going to be a guard in the National Football League. I don't think he has he might play right tackle. I'm not sure if he's a left, and I don't like Dylan Radins on the left side either. Michael Penix Jr., worst pick of the draft. I don't think any pick that's going to happen is going to be worse than that. Odunze at 9. I love that for Chicago. Great chemistry with Caleb. That's a really scary wide receiver trio. JJ to Minnesota. I love that Minnesota didn't overpay for him, but he is a good fit there. Olufashino out of Penn State. Love that for New York. Somebody's going to get hurt on that O-line. Bo Nix to Denver. They needed a quarterback, but he's a round 2 guy, in my opinion, probably a career backup. I don't see him as an impact player in the league. Brock Bowers, very interesting pick. I'm interested to see how Luke Getsy uses him.
It's different.
He's not the most he wasn't the most creative offensive mind in Chicago, but things might change because if you're taking him here, you have a vision for him. And then Talise Fuanga out of Oregon State for the Saints. They needed a tackle. They got that guy. I like that pick right there. And now we have the Colts, Tom Downey, and there's still no defensive players that have gone.
That's pretty wild. Dallas Turner is kind of sliding a little bit more than I think most people thought he was going to. This might be a good Quinyon Mitchell range here. Troy Fatano's there. I'm high on Graham Barton quite a bit there. I got my guys, Amarius Mims, Johnny Newton. Byron Murphy is there too. So if you want a defense, you're in pretty good shape there. Jack, take it away.
All right, today's live stream is brought to you by Mando Whole Body Deodorant. You can get $5 off a starter pack today when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. Ditch the soap and step up to the plate with Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. Developed by a doctor, this game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. Mando is available in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando and keep your body odor in fair territory by taking advantage of their special offer for new customers of $5 off their best-selling starter pack when you go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT. Guys, I use their body wash every single day, the bourbon leather body wash. Absolutely love it. I highly recommend it to anybody. Now, I've always kept my odor in check, but man, the people here at Chat Sports, before we started partnering with Mando, it was getting a little bit rough here. I'm not going to lie, but after we started partnering with these guys and they got some Mando products, everything has changed for the better. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like this mini body wash that I showed off earlier, plus free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market today. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. A big thank you to Mando Whole Body Deodorant for sponsoring today's live stream. All right, man, show some love to our sponsor, Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Spam Draft on their latest post. Is it on Instagram or is it on Instagram? It is on Instagram. So go to Instagram right now. Check out Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Spam Draft on their latest post. And the link is going to be in the chat. Producer Jack is putting that in there right now. Go there right now. Take care of that. And are we doing shout-outs for everybody that does, Producer Jack?
We will. We'll probably come back to it.
We'll come back to it. So if you do that, we will come back to you and we'll give you a special shout-out on the show. Really appreciate our friends at Mando for sponsoring today's show. I see Kurgan Cold with another 69. Somebody's getting slapped on the show. And I don't think it's me, Tom Downey. All right. So now let's get to the Colts pick. And it's going to be,
I know, right?
My number 1 edge coming off the board. Very nice. Tom Downey, take it away, my friend.
Look, talent-wise, ignoring the medical stuff, number 1 edge I think is a very popular refrain there. I got him at 19 overall because of the medical stuff.
Apparently they checked out.
Yeah, you never know until the draft, right? Because it's, he was medically retired at Washington due to a neck injury.
Yep.
And then had to get that all sorted out and figured out from that perspective. The production was incredible. 21.5 tackles for loss this past year with 13 sacks. 20% pressure rates the last 2 years. So every 5th play, he's impacting the throw and getting after the quarterback right there. 5 forced fumbles. He had 34 TFLs in 25 games at UCLA. He's a really good athlete. He's not as freaky as like the Jalen Phillips, which I think is a good comp with the medical concerns there. Goes in a very similar range.
Same number.
I like a Trey Hendrickson comp.
I don't hate
he's
that.
not an elite run stopper, I don't think.
Hendrickson doesn't have a cross chop.
No, he doesn't. Like, but they also like they win. They get pressures. Despite not being.
Yes.
They're also very similar builds. He's got the Euro step, which I'm always a big fan of, which I like to see.
It's just beautiful, man.
There.
Just beautiful.
I thought Fuanga did a pretty good job against him.
Yes, he did.
That was kind of the one knock. I thought the length isn't great, but he got an impact pass rusher. A little surprised it wasn't a corner, but the first defensive player off the board finally.
Yeah, I mean, they like athletic freaks. I wouldn't say Latu is a freak athletically, but let's just face it, Kwity Paye has been fine. He's not much of an impact as a pass rusher. He's a good run defender. And then Samson Ebukam? Is that? Yeah, he's the other edge rusher there. He's fine.
They love getting pass rushers.
But Latu is like a legit number one edge rusher day one, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy. There's just not many guys that can pull off the cross chop move because it takes such balance and bend and athleticism. I think Latu's going to be a really good player if he can stay healthy, and that's kind of a big if with his history. So make sure you spam draft. A few shout-outs. Where do we see them?
I got to pull it up here.
Okay,
I got to pull it up. Let's see. We've got, let me go to the top of these so I'm not missing anybody. A. Jones, Immortal Life Trippy, Joseph CEO, Zach 2C, almost clicked on somebody, Jared, Shane Amick, Bethany, SU Pressure, bunch of those from SU Pressure. Mirko's got a bunch of them in there as well. Crystal 42, Jam Walder, Bridge Racing. I think that's Wookiees. Might be mispronouncing that one from that perspective. Let me keep scrolling down here. I don't want to get the Raiders ones in there necessarily either. Save those shout outs for those people. I think we're mostly caught up here. Let me keep scrolling. I think we're about caught up there. Psycho Modern. It keeps it loads and then it scrolls past where it's currently at, which is very frustrating. I think we're about caught up there, guys.
All right, so let's kind of recap the picks here.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May go off the board. 1, 2, 3, straight chalk. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 4. Joe Alt to the Chargers at 5, not J.C. Latham like it was rumored to be. Malik Neighbors, a great fit for the New York Giants. J.C. Latham to the Titans. Michael Penix Jr., the crazy pick of the day at number 8. Roma Dunze pairing up with his buddy Caleb Williams there in Chicago. Great day for the city of Chicago, if you ask me. J.J. McCarthy, trading up for him if you're Minnesota, not giving up too much for him, getting the guy you like. Alou Fashanu from Penn State going to New York. Love that fit. Bo Nix stinks. Brock Bowers to the Raiders. I blanked out there for a second. Talise Fuanga to the Saints. Really like that. And then Latu to the Colts. They needed a really good number one edge rusher. They get one here at number 15. And then coming up here, we get Seahawks. Then we get Jaguars, Bengals, and Rams. What can we expect from these next 4 picks, Tom?
Seattle's kind of a wild card, new-ish regime kind of in there. They've been linked to Faltano because they have the similar coaching staff here. Jacksonville could go. The corners are all there for Jacksonville, so that stands out. Brian Thomas is there. Bengals are going to get a good trench player. I think they feel maybe Dallas Turner now with the Trey Hendrickson trade request suddenly starts to be appealing a little bit more than because I didn't think he was going to be here. Yeah. I'm very surprised he's there. I thought he'd be a top 10 pick. He's my number 1 defender. Maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes, but there's only been one defender taken, so who knows? Yeah,
exactly. So next up here, we had
to cycle through.
Yeah, so we got. We're just cycling through. So I don't know if we're going to see a trade up. Do you think we'll see a trade up here?
I mean, if you were a team that was
wait, who is this? Who is this on the phone? Do we know who that is?
I think that's Latu.
Oh, is that? Are they just replaying it?
ESPN is only just now getting to the pick. I'm pretty sure that's Latu. Yeah.
Okay. But there's some teams we still haven't seen an Ayuk trade yet. There were some. I'm not sure if we're going to. We did hear that if the Steelers are going to trade for him, it might not happen until they're on the clock.
Yeah.
So that's still a possibility. Same thing with Jacksonville. They need a number 1 receiver. It's going to be interesting to see how these wide receivers fall to me because you got Adonai Mitchell, you got Ladd McConkey, Xavier Legette. I think is somebody that's going to sneak in here tonight.
Would be shocked.
Watch out for the Bills. They love those deep crossers, and that's what Legette. That's his specialty.
Yeah.
So I still think we're going to have a run on receivers here. We're starting to get a run on tackles.
I think it's going to continue.
And we just had our first defender, so we'll see if there's a run on defenders here in the middle part of the first round. All right, so now let's get into. If you're just joining us here, we do have a couple of giveaways today. We have a raffle item and then an MVP item. So $20 super chat gets you in the raffle to win a draft swag pack. You get an official draft hat for your favorite team, official draft T-shirt for your favorite team, and a couple of miscellaneous little gifts here from Chat Sports, like a bottle opener and sunglasses and all this good stuff. Great little swag pack there for our raffle item winner. And then our MVP today, rookie jersey. So your favorite team and whoever they draft tonight, that's the jersey that you will get if you are today's MVP.
Kurgan Cold in a runaway right
Kurgan Cold is just running away with it right now. We got some super chats to run through here. Jameer CP says Penix to Atlanta. I'm still scratching my head. I don't know how to feel. Terrible pick.
Don't like it.
Plain simply. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, I mean, goodness gracious. He just signed there. I wouldn't feel good if I was him. Lone Wolf.
Jack says he hates to interrupt, but he's got something here.
Jack's hijacking the show here. What's up?
Oh,
okay. So Rossini said the Falcons called Kirk Cousins when they were on the clock to let him know. This is hilarious to me. From what I learned, Cousins understood a QB would be considered, but he did not believe a successor would be taken in the first round. I'm told he's a bit stunned. I mean, I think everybody's stunned. Like he completely uprooted his family to go to Atlanta, sign a 4-year contract.
His family's from there. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But also, yes.
But still, you're leaving a good situation in Minnesota to Atlanta, who then immediately drafts your successor, who, by the way, is an older quarterback that cannot create outside of structure. It's like, and the more I think about this pick, the more I hate it. $2 super chat from Lone Wolf here. It says, somehow Burton and Powers Johnson were there at 30. I guess we'll see. Then we got $69 super chat from my man Kurgan Cold. He says, I'm out on the Bengals fan. Keeps talking political trash. He should be blocked. I'll see y'all later.
We'll tell the team behind it to take care of it.
I haven't seen
it.
Yeah.
Look,
we're talking football here. We're not looking at the chat like all that much.
We'll do our best. There are people who are going to do political stuff no matter what. So honestly, just ignore it. I know it's easier said than done.
Appreciate you, Kurgan. You're a real one. $2 super chat from Chuck Nola. And he says, that Penix pick is the worst pick of this decade. Probably it's up there.
I don't know about
Alex Leatherwood to the Raiders.
I hated Bo Nix even more.
Cleveland Furl in the top 5 was pretty bad too. Okay, Jameer CP. Another one says, Penix nice. My sleeper QB Las Vegas a better fit. Yeah, I like Penix too. You know, I had him higher than J.J. McCarthy on my personal big board this year. With the right fit, I think he has a higher upside, like with better help than McCarthy does personally. But he needed that right fit, and I'm just not sure if he got there with Atlanta. All right, so we got another pick here, and it's Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas. I actually mocked Murphy to the Seattle Seahawks in my final mock, so I nailed that one here in the middle of the first round. Thoughts on Byron Murphy to the Seattle Seahawks?
He's 16 overall for me. He goes 16 overall, so, pretty right. I'm a bigger fan of Johnny Newton, but that's fine. I know I'm different than most people on that
I love him too,
there.
man. I really do.
A little shorter. He's 6'5", 297. Arm length is solid, though, and 32 and 3/8 arms. Actually benefits him, gives him good leverage, allows him to play low, and low man wins, High motor, really great athletic ability, sub 4.9, 40-yard dash. It can be a little late to trigger sometimes, I think, off the snap, but once he does, he fires forward pretty well. Great production, 16.5% pressure rate, 8.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, bunch of pressures. Not the biggest guy, a little light in the pants. Did get to 306 at his pro day.
There it is.
He said he was surprised how much he weighed at the combine. I think he didn't think he was going to be that light, which, it's fine right there. Doesn't get pushed out of gaps, and he actually played a bunch of nose guard for Texas.
Yeah.
Even with Devontae
Smith, run defender.
He's a good run defender given his size. Interior pass rusher, Mike McDonald coming over from the Ravens, saw how good Justin Madubuike was.
Yep.
Now he's got another one here. The easy comp for all the undersized guys is Geno Atkins. I don't mind that one here. I think Shelby Harris athletically. But the better version than what Seattle had, like the good version.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Byron Murphy, just crazy athlete. He's just a psycho on the field. I think this is a great fit with all the rotating disguises that they do and all the different stuff they do with their safeties and their nickel and their inside linebackers. You need to have a really solid defensive line. They needed help on the interior. I mean, this is a no-brainer to me. You need interior offensive line help if you're Seattle, and I know a lot of fans are probably clamoring for Graham Barton here, for example. You can get a good guard on day 2 for sure.
I'd agree.
All right. See you, folks. I'm going to be taking off here. Tom is going to have you. We're going to have Jace Andrews on here.
Give him
just
second.
a little. Oh, give it a little second.
Yeah, got a couple times there, but Jags on the clock here at number 17 overall. If you are just now tuning in, we will recap the picks for you as we simulcast for the time being on Cowboys, on Chiefs, on Commanders. Dolphins is Dolphins just now shifted off, or is that about to be? Not quite yet. Dolphins TBD on that front. By the way, we have a trade up. Minnesota is jumping up to number 17 overall with Jacksonville, only giving up 167. I wonder if that might be a typo there from the reports. We'll see. But Minnesota is on the clock here all of a sudden. Okay, this makes more sense. It's 167, a third and a fourth next year. I have a prediction. I'm going to go Dallas Turner. They're giving up a lot of capital here. Next year's class, a third and a fifth, or a third and a fourth, plus 167 overall this year, as Minnesota is now on the clock here, trading up with Jacksonville to get that number 17 overall pick. Some top players on the board here. Dallas Turner, Quinyon Mitchell, the corners would be a good fit for what they like to do on defense with Brian Flores. Offensive linemen, Troy Fatano are there. Graham Barton is there. Marius Mims is there. Johnny Newton is my guy. I love Newton. I would love that pick. I don't think the NFL's as high on him as I am. That's fine. Terrion Arnold is there. Nate Wiggins, at least on my board, Nate Wiggins, Jackson Powers-Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Brian Thomas. So Minnesota, 2 trades up in round 1 of this year's class, a 5th this year, and their 3rd and 4th round picks next year. That tells me there is somebody that they desperately wanted that maybe they didn't think would be on the board for them. And they're jumping up 6 spots and really, really limiting next year's draft capital to make this happen. Is the only other pick that I've seen come in this year, a 3rd and a 4th next year, when they already moved on from future picks next season as well, to an extent, to make this happen. So Minnesota, ultra aggressive here in round 1. You can get those predictions in for who you think this pick will end up being. I would guess defense, Dallas Turner, Quinyon Mitchell, all available here on the board at this time, as that pick should be in very, very shortly with the trade up coming in here. There it is. The pick is in. Sperry can suck it. It is indeed Dallas Turner to the Minnesota Vikings. This was my number 1 ranked pass rusher in this year's class. He's actually much higher than J.J. McCarthy was for me on this board. Top 10 player for me in the class. He's my number 1 ranked defensive player, my top ranked edge rusher. The Vikings were in the market for more pass rush help because they had lost Danielle Hunter. They had lost Marcus Davenport. They had only added Jonathan Grenard. Now they find a way to acquire, I think, the best pass rusher in this class with the non-medical concerns that Latu Latu had suffered from. And I bet when they do their post-draft press conference stuff, they're going to go, yeah, we didn't think Dallas Turner was going to be there. We had a chance to get our highest-rated defensive player. We thought it would have been silly to not go down that path and acquire him. He plays bigger, in the same way that kind of Nolan Smith does, by the way. He plays a little bit bigger than his size. I don't think he has, at almost 6'3", 247 with really long arms. That's not someone you would think is a good run stopper. I thought he held up pretty well. The length really helps him from that perspective. Gives him some frame to grow into there as well, by the way. He can drop into coverage. I hated when Alabama did that. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Stop doing this. Why are you dropping into coverage? That's dumb. That's lame. You shouldn't be doing those types of things. The long arm and the burst he has off the snap, 4.48 40, a 40.5-inch vert, 10.07 broad, elite athletic ability. All of that allows him to convert that speed into power. And that benefits him in a pretty major way with what he's able to do as a pass rusher. He is young as well. He's 21 years old. The athletic comp here, hopefully a better football player, is Vic Beasley, who's not the biggest guy, but very athletically gifted, offers the burst. I think Nolan Smith, a better version, works well too, where he's a bigger player. So a couple future picks next year. It means next year's draft won't be as good for Minnesota when it's all said and done. But I do think this was a really good, aggressive move by the Vikings as they build out their current core. J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, and going to have some success with Dallas Turner on defense. Quality pick there by Alabama. Hats off to Minnesota. I like being aggressive there. They'll feel it next year with lighter draft capital, but hey, adding good players isn't a bad thing at all. And you're getting they'll say he's a top 10 guy on their board, just like he is for me. Just like he is for me. So Minnesota trades up to 17. They take Dallas Turner. Number 18, Cincinnati, now on the clock here as we bring on Jace Andrews. Jace, how you doing, buddy?
Welcome back. We're good. Brian, good to be back. Bengals on the clock now. Are they really about to get Brian Thomas Jr. here?
I bet they take an offensive lineman.
Think so?
I'm gonna bet Amarius Mims here.
That would be a good pick.
Well, think of Jared Verse, Shawnee Newton, Quinyon Mitchell is there when I didn't think he was going to be. So that is a dark horse candidate as well.
Very much so.
I'm excited to see who they pick. A lot of good options here.
Lots of good options. We are closing in on 374,000 subscribers, getting close here, and just less than 120 away. So hit that subscribe button. We got coverage of all 252 picks. Plus, I believe, Tom, you got 300 players, you said? So UDFAs we're going to cover it too.
I got to 3. Oh, there's going to be a lot of guys I didn't get to. I always be about 20, 25 guys I did not get to in the end there.
We'll get it off. All right. Well, with that being said, I believe we're getting word your time is calling for Cowboys.
In a little bit here. Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
All right.
Stand by. We got a few minutes here.
All right. Let's go to a couple super chats here real quick.
Let's
keep going.
That's fine.
Let's
Go
keep going.
and go to Jace. That's fine. Go and go to Jace.
Let's keep going. Jameer CP with a super chat saying, who should the Rams pick? A couple different options for the Rams. I think, they're closing in here. I think, honestly, probably going offensive lineman with them would maybe be a very good shot. But going in here with the pick, see how that goes. Jim and Molly Bennett saying, who will Tomunism forever be taking at number 3?
Who's here? Oh my God. Tell him to take Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. There you go. That's who he's taking. Brian Aycock. This one's from Dolphins. I like Dolphins. Hello from Bass to all Finn family. Jim, Tom will text you tonight. There you go. Hello from Badass to all Finn family. Like the PH there a lot. That's nice. Someone from Cowboys? Okay. Dwayne Jackson, $5 super chat saying, Tom, if all the good O-line are picked, should Dallas trade out at pick number 24? I believe Tom had mentioned that he said yes, if O-line aren't there, the potential to trade out is something that we could see from the Dallas Cowboys. Random Vids with a $5 super chat saying, do you think the hip drop tackle has affected the draft this year? I'm going to go with no. I think that you're still going to take people based off their athletic ability. I don't know how in the world that would kind of maybe affect a little bit, but it's not something that I would see being a huge thing. Blood Slinger saying, F Chugs. I second that, of course. Power saying, with all the QBs and tackles getting picked, that made it so there is a ton of great players left. There's a ton of amazing players left, especially on the cornerbacks. There's Quinyon Mitchell as well. There's Kool-Aid McKinstry as well. There is a lot of different good cornerbacks, along with wide receivers are still available. Brian Thomas Jr. and A.D. Mitchell. Poff Daddy along here. Jack? Poff Daddy saying, trade back or go with D pick. Board looks big. Is this one? This one's on Cowboys, right? This one's on Cowboys. Honestly, the offensive line is still pretty. I think Amarius Mims is a great pick for the Cowboys if he's still there. I just don't see if he's going to be there, though. There you go. All right, the pick is in for the Bengals. Let's go to this next super chat real quick. We want to hit that real quick? There you go. NGA Recruiting's $2 super chat. So the pick is in for the Cincinnati Bengals. They do not go Brian Thomas Jr. They go Amarius Mims, the 6'7", 340-pound lineman from the University of Georgia. Number 4 overall offensive tackle, the 14th ranked player. Amarius Mims is a guy that I really like seeing play, and I think he is a very good fit in a team that needed an offensive lineman. If you look at the Bengals, they've got a couple of question marks right now with T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson both requesting trades, and Amarius Mims now going to help block Joe Burrow, who has had a bit of an injury problem since he has got in there. Now, only 800 career snaps, but when he is healthy, he is playing amazing. The question is, will he stay healthy, and will that affect, obviously, a Bengals team who has had some injury-prone players throughout their past couple of years? Let's just say that. He's very big, and I think that's why there are some concerns with that injury. I know that is something, though, that the Bengals have liked in Amarius Mims. Given the size, he is going to be able to block Joe Burrow at an effective rate, especially in a very good defensive conference there, or division, with the Steelers being in there and TJ Watt. You're going to need some very good offensive linemen. This is going to help out in a team that the offensive line very much struggled in there. So Amarius Mims, they are the round 1 pick, number 18 for the Cincinnati Bengals, an offensive lineman that, to me, kind of fell a little bit. I mean, 18 is a pretty good slot for him. I would like that pick for the Bengals. Let's kind of recap what we've seen from this 2024 NFL Draft so far. Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick. Jane Daniels at number 2. Drake May at number 3. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4. Pretty much following the script from picks 1 through 4. Caleb, Jaden, Drake, all the ones that we expected to see in those top 3. And then MHJ, nothing new there. Alt going at pick number 5 is probably the one that maybe started the surprise movement. Then you have Malik Neighbors, J.C. Latham at number 7. The Titans, who are really heavily linked to Joe Alt, then proceeded to then not get him, and they didn't trade back. They stuck with their gut, got an offensive tackle in J.C. Latham. And then the biggest pick of the draft up until this point, the Falcons, who just guaranteed $100 million to Kirk Cousins. They draft Michael Penix Jr., and the 24-year-old with some injury struggles lands in Atlanta, and a tight-knit quarterback competition coming up. Is that the quarterback of the future in a couple years? Lots of question marks, but ultimately that's the way the Falcons chose to go. Rome Odunze at number 9 to the Chicago Bears. You pair him with Caleb Williams, and you have an absolute stud of an offense in Chicago. You have some amazing guys around them, along with DJ Moore, and of course the signing of Keenan Allen, or rather trade for Keenan Allen. That's a very good offense in Chicago. J.J. McCarthy in the trade there goes number 10 to the Minnesota Vikings, as the Vikings move up 1 slot ahead, going to the Jets. And the Jets there take Olu Fashanu. Brock Bowers, the tight end, he falls at number 13 with the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a very good pick. I like that one a lot. And then Talisi Fuaga from Oregon State, the Hawaiian native, goes to New Orleans, playing with the Saints in the Superdome. Laitu Latu, the edge from UCLA, in round 1, pick 15. Steelers. Gotcha. Byron Murphy, the second, and then there at round 1, pick number 16. Obviously, the Jaguars then traded with the Vikings. That was Dallas Turner at 17. And then the most recent pick, Amarius Mims, at pick number 18. So there's your most recent picks. We appreciate you joining on there. Joined now by Nic Rohloff.
Let's get it, NFL fans. What's going on? Welcome to be here. We've had an electric NFL draft so far. All my Dolphins fans tuning in. Let's go. We're picking in a couple picks. We'll be here to break that down live as well. But it's been a lot of stunning selections here, Jace. I got to be honest. You see Michael Penix going 8, the first 14 picks being all offense, which means, well, defensive players that are very, very talented are falling into the mid and early 20s, which will allow, our Dolphins here picking at 21 to potentially go that route or even on the offensive line. But, there's a lot of good players still out there, Jace.
Terrion Arnold's out there. Quinion Mitchell. I'm kind of surprised. We're at pick 19, and he is there. We'll see if his next pick is up. But the Rams, currently on the clock right now, have got pick number 19 overall, as we see. Looking for a defensive tackle edge, maybe a cornerback. Maybe this is where we finally see Quinion Mitchell go. They do have 11 total picks with 4 in the top 100. Rams are in an interesting situation being at 19. What do you think they go with?
I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. This is the first time they're picking in the first round since 2016 when they took quarterback Jared Goff. An interesting guy. I wouldn't surprise me if they went corner with Quinion Mitchell or Terrion Arnold, but could they go Jerzon Newton, the defensive tackle from Illinois? Because, Aaron Donald retiring in the offseason. They could look for his replacement. Byron Murphy just went off the board a couple picks ago to the Seahawks? Could the Rams go for that Aaron Donald replacement and Jerzon Newton? It wouldn't shock me, but there's also Jared Verse there as well. So, I just expect them to go defense with anything.
I think this is a very clear defensive pick. It's either, I would probably agree with you to go defensive line, but given Quinion Mitchell is there, it wouldn't surprise me if they took him, given being at 19, that's a pretty good slot for him.
I'll tell you what, I thought it was fascinating that a report from Diana Rossini is out there that they tried to trade up into the top 10 from 19 with Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, in mind. It's a little bit of a stunner if you ask me. They stay home here at 19, and as long as there's no crazy trade back or anything like that, I'd expect them to go defense like you mentioned.
Yeah, I like Verse. I think that's a pretty good one. But again, over 2,000 days in between their last pick. That's in the first round. That's kind of wild. Like, the fact that that is just an actual thing is crazy. All right, let's try and beat our chat rate record here. We got Rolly on the stream, which means the positive vibes are here.
I'll try to bring the energy. I need the energy reciprocated from the people in the chat. Come on, spam those me's.
We're giving shout-outs to everybody who spams me, so get down there and spam it as fast as humanly possible. Hunter Man is in there. I see Swimmer of Age. I see Wesley typing me. Weston typing me. Y'all need to keep spamming it because I want to break the chat rate record from last year, which is over 1,000. I believe we can do it. Big Pop. We've got Lionheart, Paul, Saul, Hunter, Robert, Kaylee, Darth Vader, Robert, Lionheart, Kaylee, Moshi, Saul, Eric B, Scott, Marcus, Swimmer, Hunter, Big Polo, Lionheart, Kaylee, Paul, Nike, Marcus, Jay, Ralph, Kelly, Jay, Frank, 12 gauge. We got Destroying Dog. We got Mia, Kelly, Dallas, Kyle C, Frankum, Dallas Hoffman, Robert, Cowboys, Corey, Jay, Caden, Red Raider, Caden. We have Rams fan, your pick is about to be up, my guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't been announced yet, but I'll tell you what, I'm looking at my guys in Dolphins today. We got Dolphin City. Hey, it's Lance. Ty, man, you're everywhere, as you always are. Fins fan, Ricky, Byron, Tanner, John Boggs, Joao. Keep on spamming those me's. Get the me's in the chat. Wherever you're watching from, wherever stream you're on, type the me's. Show me how amped you are because we're trying to break records here in the 2024 NFL Draft as we wait for the pick to be in. And it looks like it is in. Jared Verse. Listen, we know ball for a reason, Jace. We called it. Jared Verse, the defensive lineman, the edge from Florida State, heading to the Rams. That is now all three top edges are off the board now, with Verse being the final one.
Very good pick here. I actually like this pick a lot, especially for a team that did just lose Aaron Donald. Verse is not going to be Aaron Donald by any stretch, but he's a plug-and-play guy. Pick 19, you're going to put him on the defensive line. He's going to create pressure, and he's going to be very good, especially for the height and weight he is. 6'3", 254, but the kid can move. Number 2 overall edge that we had, and somebody that I really think is going to prove that you can come in here and immediately succeed, especially being around the top 20 picks. Again, very, very good kind of blend of everything. I don't think he's like a specialist at one specific thing, but I do, however, believe he is like a jack of all trades. He has the size. He has the speed. Okay. He's got the speed, got the size. And again, he can do a lot of different things he can do on the edge along with ball rushing. So Jared Verse, a very good pick there. And like Rolly said, we know ball. What can we say? All right.
We're going to sign off, Cowboys. Go ahead. We're going to go give it to Tom Downey, our guy. So go check it out over there.
Hello and welcome. We are still streaming live on Kansas City. We're still on Steelers, right? Or Steelers is off now?
Steelers is done.
Steelers is off now. Dolphin Commanders and Chiefs, welcome all in here to our live coverage of the 2024 NFL Draft. We do appreciate hanging out with us. Nic Rohloff alongside Jace Andrews here, and we do appreciate hanging out with us. We're giving you breakdowns of every single pick from rounds 1 to round 7, from pick 1 to pick 252. We are now 19 picks in, with Jared Verse being the latest pick at number 19 to the Los Angeles Rams.
You want to know what's nuts here is Verse went 19 to the Rams. The top cornerbacks, all of them, whatever cornerback is your flavor, whether it be Terrion Arnold, Quinion Mitchell, whoever is your top CB in this draft class, well, they're still there. No corners, no defensive backs off the board. It's a shocker to me, and if you're a team that need to replenish your cornerback room and you're picking late in this draft, could you be any more excited? I got my eyes on the Philadelphia Eagles here coming up in a couple selections as well. Pick 22 to be exact. Bradbury up in age. You have Darius Slay getting up there as well. I mean, they're going to be able to take one of the top corners with their pick at 22.
They may get Quinion.
Unbelievable.
They might. Let's go to some super chats real quick here from Lionheart, a $2 super chat chain. Go Texans. Well, hey, Lionheart, we know you're not in the first round. We appreciate you hanging out with us. I know that obviously your first round pick was, in theory, Stephon Diggs, making all those big trades to get him. So we'll have your pick tomorrow, obviously, here on Chat Sports. You want to get on the show? You want to make us do some cool things? We got some deals for you today. 500 likes, a Bean Boozled. And Rolly, I don't know if you know the deal, but because you're new on this one, you're first. And as I look right now, we are less than 40 likes away from you doing a little bit of a Bean Boozled.
This feels like I was set up. I was framed.
You were. All right, $10. We'll talk about your team, and we will give you the latest on everything going on there. $20, you're going to get on a raffle to win some swag from your team, plus some little bit of a Chat Sports gear as well with some nice sunglasses, bottle openers, all that stuff. $50, we have the tortilla slaps. Rolly, you didn't agree to this one. Are you in on that?
Oh, they're killing me. They want me to Bean Boozled, the tortilla slaps. What did I sign up for? Come on.
And then along with our highest super Venmo today for our MVP, you're going to get a rookie jersey. So whoever team you are a fan of, we'll get you the jersey of the rookie you drafted. Pretty good deal right there. So again, $20 to get into that raffle. You're getting a draft swag pack. So pretty much a lot of stuff from your team. Going to get some gear from them along with Chat Sports stuff as well. A couple glasses.
Sounds pretty cool to me. I got my guy Chad Jones in Dolphins Today. Oh. What's up, Chad? How are you doing? I also saw a $5 super chat. I don't know if I probably can't flash that, but I'll give him a shout out. Brian Aycock. Oh, we can?
You can.
This is why Jack Lotteray's the man. Shout out to Brian Aycock, $5 super chat. Hello from Badass to all Finn family. I can't believe YouTube let that slide through, but shout out to you, Brian Aycock, and shout out to everybody watching on Dolphins Today. As you know, if you watched yesterday's video, new host of the channel, so I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here on Main Chat Sports as well, hanging out with everyone as we do get into the 20s here as the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock, and that pick is allegedly in, which would put Miami Dolphins on the clock. Let's see who Chris Grier and Mike McDaniels take in 2024. I would be shocked if the Steelers don't go with Grant Barton.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, there's been a lot of smoke between those two guys, but they could also use a corner, and with all the top corners still on the board for Pittsburgh, it makes a lot of sense for them to go that route as well.
Would it surprise you if they go with Brian Thomas Jr.?
I don't think it would. I mean, him and Pickens would be an interesting duo. I mean, it really would, because those two guys kind of both project as outside X-type wide receivers. But they're both dynamic with the ball in their hands, big play machines. And I would be comfortable moving George Pickens around in that offense. Brian Thomas is like 6'3", 6'4". He's a big guy. But all this talk is mute because the pick is in. And they're going to go with Troy Fautanu, the guard/tackle from Washington, someone that I wanted the Dolphins to take at 21. So that's a little
well, that's off the board.
That's a little bit of a snipe job from Omar Khan and the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I am stunned by Graham Barton not being the pick for them. But, looks like they go that route.
Another offensive tackle off the board at pick number 20. Troy Fautanu, the Washington. He's the third Washington player selected, right? Not even Penix or Dunze?
Penix and Fautanu.
Yeah, third Washington. That might be the most.
Three
from one school?
Yeah, I think that is. We've only gotten...
Because there's only two Georgia, tight end and Amarius Mims. Is there any other teams that have had more than three?
No, because you're right. The Georgia has two.
Georgia has two.
But I think that's it. It's a Washington with Fautanu now takes the lead with 3.
Bama's got 2.
Bama's got 2.
Yeah. Well, Troy Fautanu here, number 3 overall. And Downey, Tom, had him as the number 1 offensive guard, number 12 overall. Fautanu is honestly a really good price. I think the thing, and the reason why he's probably not as high up as Joe Alt, J.C. Latham, Olu, he's 24. He's a little bit older than those guys. I think in my mind, he's a little bit slower. And honestly, he's not the usual build of an offensive tackle. You can kind of see him there. He's not like the prototypical guy at the tackle slot. But the thing is, his arms are huge, and they have great length as well. So he can get out there and protect his quarterback in any way possible. Now going to help protect in the new quarterback of Justin Fields. So Russell Wilson, yeah, that too. We'll see. I don't think Russell's that good. But oh well. I think he's a great pick, and he'll be protecting one of the two quarterbacks, whichever one wins.
Yeah, I mean, there was those little rumors that came out in the last week and a half or so that he has been medically flagged by NFL front offices on his knee, which is a main reason why he's potentially here at 20. A lot of people projected him to go inside the top 15 of this draft, but ultimately it looks like he fell with that knee injury, and Pittsburgh Steelers are never shy of making a bold move with George Pickens, Justin Fields now, and we'll see how Fataanu plays out in the Steel City, which puts Miami on the clock with pick 21. If you're a Dolphins fan, let me know who you want to draft down in the comment section. And if you're not a Dolphins fan, you can also let me know who's the best player left on the board. Pair of $20 super chats on Dolphins Today from Chad Jones and Juggalotus. We'll get to those in just a minute. Don't you wait. But we're waiting for the pick to be in for Miami here at 21. Let me know who y'all want or who you think is the best player on the board. Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sounds good. I see Xavier Worthy. I see Graham Barton, Kool-Aid McKinstry. McKinstry, excuse me. A lot of people saying trade back. Jackson Powers Johnson as well in the chat. Chop Robinson, Brian Thomas Jr. I tell you what, Jace, Xavier Worthy would be nuts.
If you pair Xavier Worthy with Tyreek, that gotta be wild.
I mean,
that gotta be wild.
You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Xavier Worthy to be the quickest wide receiver room in the entire NFL, without a doubt. Now, if you're going for team needs, you're definitely going to probably look towards a Graham Barton type, or maybe a Jerzon Newton.
Tyler Guyton?
Guyton would be interesting. That Albert Breer says Tyler Guyton's in play for Miami, Philly, or Dallas. We'll see. The Oklahoma offensive lineman. I'll be very intrigued to see where Chris Grier goes. If I was making this pick, Dolphins fans, since we didn't really get a lot of time together for you guys to really get my full opinion, I would go Jerzon Newton or Graham Barton here, as they do need to replenish that right guard position after Robert Hunt left for that $100 million bag he got by the Carolina Panthers. I'd go Barton. That's who I mocked to the Dolphins in the first video yesterday. We'll see if I nailed it. I'll tell you, how about an introduction to a channel, by the way?
Congratulations. It's draft week.
Yeah, first video I did was a final Dolphins mock draft yesterday. I mocked Graham Barton. Could I get a bangerang here one day later? That would be something. That would be something.
Just nail the pick day one. Watch this.
I mean, if you don't subscribe for that, I don't know what you could subscribe for. Yeah, Downey, go back to Cowboys. We got a new sheriff in town.
Let's run through the picks that we have already seen selected, as right now the Miami Dolphins are on the clock with pick number 21. So far, we've seen Williams, Daniels, and May, the top three quarterbacks. No surprise there, along with Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4. Obviously following a script there, 1 through 4. Then we start to get some crazy things. Alt goes at 5, as the Chargers, who were in play with J.C. Latham for a while, liked him, decided to take the better offensive tackle available and Joe Alt. Malik Neighbors then goes to the Giants, so no J.J. McCarthy there. And that forces the Titans to make a decision. Do they trade back? Do they stay put? They stay put, and they take J.C. Latham at number 7. And then the surprise of the draft thus far, Michael Penix Jr. to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that had just signed Kirk Cousins to $100 million guaranteed. Wild pick there.
I mean, I just don't understand. And Rossini tweeted out that Kirk Cousins was told quarterback could be in play in this draft. Just didn't expect it to happen in the first round. That is quite the move for Raheem Morris and the Falcons to do that.
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Sounds good.
Romo Dunze, pick number 9, and obvious pick there for the Bears. I think that was the smart choice. They had options to trade out, but if Rome's there, you take him. You pair him with Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. Yeah, that offense is kind of scary, and a defense that was already pretty good last year. A team that finished off hot. I mean, it may be. Is it bad to say that the Bears may have a shot at the playoffs this year?
Well, they are going to make the playoffs if you ask me.
Oh, there you go.
Listen, rookie quarterbacks usually don't fare too well, but that roster is absolutely loaded. I believe they're also going to be in play to be second or first in that division. First might be aggressive because the Detroit Lions are pretty good, but the Packers could absolutely be overtaken by Chicago. Ryan Poles and Bears fans should be excited, but more NFC North news. J.J. McCarthy slipping all the way down to 10. He is a Viking, which everyone projected, but it just didn't expect it to be at pick number 10.
Yeah, I expected a bigger trade-up, especially with the Vikings having picks 10 and 23. But that was not the only trade the Vikings made. We'll get to that in a second. Olu Fashanu to the Jets at round 1, pick 11. Jets pretty easy. They're just getting an extra pick for going 1 pick back, knowing that the Vikings were not going to take Olu Fashanu, so smart on them. And then Bo Nix goes to the the Broncos. What a quarterback room that is. Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson, and Bo Nix.
I mean, say nice things to Sam Brown here. Okay, he's mad, so I'm going to let it rip then. They are going to be picking in the top 3 next year. Yeah,
top 3?
Top 3.
They may be number 1.
I mean, I was trying to be generous, but that roster already isn't that talented.
They might be number 1.
Then you throw in Bo Nix as QB1 or Zach Wilson or Jarrett Stidham, whatever you want to say. That is pretty ugly. That is pretty ugly.
Speaking of the AFC West, Brock Bowers goes at number 13. Oh, shoot.
Oh. Let's see the arm, Jace. Oh, look at this.
There we go. Talisi Fuaga at round 1, pick number 14 to the New Orleans Saints. Latu to the Indianapolis Colts, the edge from UCLA. Number 1 edge there, and the first defensive player at number 15.
I can't believe it took
That's
15 picks. Listen, that's a record.
But then we had 3 in a row.
We're also going to see a record for offensive players drafted
100%.
in round 1. It was previously 19. I made a bold prediction on Bears Now, that's where I was a little bit earlier, that we were going to have 25 players on the offensive side of the ball drafted in the first round. We're at 16 right now, according to Mr. Lotteray. I absolutely see 9 more going in the last 11
picks. So they blew that up. They doubled it almost.
The Dolphins pick is in, and it's a little bit of a stunner if you ask me.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a moment here. Dallas Turner, that's another trade up here for the Minnesota Vikings. They moved from 23 to 17, giving up a couple picks next year in round 3 and 4, along with a round 5 pick this year, I believe. It was around 6, whatever it was. Amarius Mims goes there at round 1, pick 18. Jared Verse, round 1, pick 19. And then Troy Futanu at round 1, pick number 20 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The third Washington player, and as of right now, Washington, the runner-ups for the national championship, ended up having the most picks or most players selected right now through the top 20 at 3 with Futanu, Penix, which not what I expected, and then Rome Odunze. I want to know who had Michael Penix going before Rome Odunze.
Definitely wasn't on my bingo card. I also I was a bigger Penix fan than JJ McCarthy, and I might be taken off screen after saying that from Jack.
I agree. I think that's right.
But I was a big Penix guy. Don't quote that. But I do think that J.J. McCarthy would have won higher. Evidently, I was wrong. But, I mean, we've had quite the first round in the NFL draft. It's only going to continue to get more and more chaotic as we round out the final 11 selections in this draft.
All right, Rolly. Yep. You're up.
All right, just give me a timer. I'll lead off the video here.
It is. Yep.
The Dolphins stuck at pick number 21 and went defense. They drafted Chop Robinson, the edge out of Penn State, with the 21st overall selection in the NFL draft. A lot of offense early, so I thought maybe they were going to get a better defensive player than Robinson. I don't know if that's a little bit too harsh for me right off the bat, but a very talented player, but they evidently go with a high upside pick rather than the interior and offensive line help they needed. Shout out to Jace Andrews joining me here on Dolphins Today. I am Nic Rohloff. Before we dive into this player more in depth throughout this video, help us get to 56,000 subscribers. We're near 150 away from reaching that milestone. The best NFL draft coverage around the Miami Dolphins right here on Dolphins Today. So hit that sub button. All right, the pick is in, and according to our draft expert, Tom Downey, he was the 4th-ranked edge in this class, and this top 3 group of Verse, Latu, and Turner were all off the board. Jerzon Newton was still there, the defensive tackle from Illinois, which was catching my eye a little bit more, but the 21-year-old out of Penn State. The reason why this is an intriguing pick is that he has a lot of upside. He's got good size. He's very, very athletic. But but he's not very polished, and I would have thought they would have went with someone who could make more of an impact right now, as this Dolphins roster is in a win-now mode. Jace, I don't know your thoughts about that, but I'd be curious to hear.
So here's what I have to say about Chop, and I think this is the reason why they stuck with the gut at edge. You talk about Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, both last year coming off season-ending injuries. I think there's a shot that we see Chop Robinson come in and immediately get playing time in the first couple of weeks. Now, that's where the questions come in, because if those first couple of weeks don't go well, and then Chubb comes back fully healthy, Phillips comes back fully healthy, does that immediately change the way you use him? Does he become a back burner? Does your first-round pick become a guy that you don't see for 1 or 2 years? That's where the question comes in, but I think for now, it's not a bad idea. But I agree with what you're saying. I think there is somebody better they could have gotten at 21 and then gotten an edge that could potentially just be like a fill-in guy for those few games, maybe in the later rounds.
Well, edge was definitely a position of need. Bradley Chubb dealing with injuries. He's getting older in age. Jalen Phillips coming off the torn Achilles from a year ago. You don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. He said he will be, but it's very unclear if that is actually going to be true or not. So I understand the position of need. But if you're asking me, Dolphins fans, on why I think this is a little bit of a mistake by Chris Grier, it's because I think you could have traded back and taken Chop Robinson closer to the 26, 27 range. Now, it obviously takes 2 to tango, and there's got to be a team calling up to try to get this pick at number 21. But I just felt like there's a more impactful player in Jerzon Newton there that really would have made this roster pop a little bit more and fortified that defensive line. Like I said, I understand where Grier is coming from and why he wants to get insurance and another edge into that room alongside Chubb and Jalen Phillips. Grade the pick for me and get me your thoughts down below. Maybe you disagree. I think early grade, B-, C+. I'll have a full grades video later on the first round for Miami, but get your initial thoughts on the pick down below, A, B, C, D, or F. And while you do that, make sure you get started with the best ticketing app on the market, and that is Game Time. Spring is here, and if you want to go see a Marlins game, which power to you if you do, but you can go to the games at Lone Depot Park and get to watching with Game Time. You get to see your vantage point whenever you want. You see exactly where you're sitting, and they give you the best last-minute tickets. It could be a last-minute thing, whether it be a concert, comedy show. There's a lot going on in Miami, and if you are in that area and decide you want to go out and do something on a Friday night, the best place to do that on the last minute is Game Time, and they are offering you a perfect deal right now. $20 off when you go download Game Time, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS. When you download the app, get started with Game Time today. Last minute tickets, $20 off, lowest price. It is the best app on the market. And if you aren't sold just yet, I'll tell you one more thing. The all-in pricing that they have is phenomenal. You're not blindsided by any fees when you go to check out. You see how much the cost of the ticket actually is when you're scrolling looking for your seat. All right, let's get back to Chop Robinson and what he can do for this Dolphins roster. We mentioned the safety net that Chris Grier and this front office know they needed to get for the Jalen Phillips injury. And to me, this might tell me more about Jalen Phillips' health long-term than anything, because there was other options out there. Sure, they could have went flashy with Xavier Worthy or Brian Thomas Jr. and created the best wide receiver trio in the NFL alongside Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But they elected to go with a guy that is in a more of a position of need. And then I hate to look in the free agency rumors already because it's the draft, but they've obviously been linked to Odell Beckham Jr. quite a bit in this offseason, and maybe they go that route to address the wide receiver 3 position. But Chop Robinson, someone who's very athletic, projects to be a high upside guy. If Chris Grier in this front office is right about him, this could be a home run pick, and I could look like a clown and be on freezing cold takes in a couple seasons, which I hope is the right case here, by the way. I just thought there was I hate to keep on going back to it. I just hate that they passed up on either Graham Barton or Jerzon Newton, because I thought they would be more impactful to this roster right away for the 2024 season. And obviously, when you look at Miami as we progress throughout this NFL draft process, they only had 6 overall picks, and 2 of them coming in the first 4 rounds. Yes, you heard that correctly. They have 1 5th-round pick, 2 6th-round picks, a 7th, and a 2nd to go alongside this first. So there isn't a ton of ammo inside the top 100 to really upgrade this roster after I'd say, disappointing 2023 NFL season because they got off to such a hot start. We're in the fight for the AFC East Division title. You lost it to the Bills late and then go into Kansas City and get blown out in the first round of the playoffs. I just felt like you needed to really nail this pick to keep on moving forward and progress, and I'm just not so sure they did it right now. Maybe I'm a little bit of a pessimist, and if you like to be an optimist, well, tough look for me, I guess. But when we move throughout this draft, what position should the Dolphins draft next? There's a big need. There, you can go wide receiver. You can go defensive tackle. Maybe Braden Fisk out of Florida State in the second round at pick 55 is someone that intrigues me. Jatavian Sanders out of Texas, the tight end, is also a good spot as well. So let me know what position the Dolphins should draft next. Get in the comment section and let me know.
There you go.
Final thoughts. I don't like the pick. I don't know if you could tell that.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
I did my best to try to stay positive, but also not be overly positive. And Dolphins fans, like I want to see what you guys are saying in the comment section right now. So I'm sorry, going to do it. Chase says ignoring O-line again? ? I think it's just a stunner. Like I thought Graham Barton was a slam dunk pick for Miami because he is a good interior offensive lineman out of Duke. He could have played right guard very easily and just replaced Robert Hunt and been a day one starter. I thought that was very important for them to do. Obviously, I'm going to welcome in Chop Robinson and be someone who is going to be hopefully impactful for this Dolphins roster. I just, as I'm going to keep on going back to say, I thought there was a better player out there for Miami, and evidently they don't take the guy that I would have liked them to do.
Sweet. All right. Eagles draft pick is in.
Time? Oh, I thought we were running on the way, and that's on me.
Quinion Mitchell is a Philadelphia Eagle. The cornerback falls to 22 and in the hands of Howie Roseman and an Eagles team that could certainly use a cornerback. Quinion, the top cornerback in this draft, goes to the team who probably needed the cornerback the most. 6 foot 185, the number one overall quarterback in this draft, and a guy who impressed at Toledo. Now he has to impress at the NFL level. Quinion was by far, in my mind, the top cornerback in this draft. Obviously, you got names like Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry that are on there, but he is very, very speedy, and he was able to succeed in both man coverage and zone coverage. It wasn't just a one-way street. He did not play a lot in press. However, when the Senior Bowl did come around, he was able to be okay in that, and I think he'll be just fine, especially in the Philadelphia Eagles situation. The press probably won't be having to be used too much. I think the big thing with him, and Tom has this down there, he's a little stiff. I think getting off the ball can be tough sometimes for him. When that snaps, it's going to be a key thing for him to make sure that his first movement is the correct one, because if it's not, we've seen him get kind of lost a little bit in coverage. That being said, he is able to mostly hold those back, so we have seen that.
Yeah, you know, Quinion Mitchell, I think, is going to be very impactful for Eagles in a very big position of need. I think that something that is coming a little bit clear here is that we overvalued how this wide receiver draft class was perceived, and the media might have got it wrong, because I think if you would have told a lot of people that there was only 3 wide receivers off the board when we're here still picking at 23, I think people wouldn't believe you. And Brian Thomas Jr. is still there. Worthy's still there. Leggett, A.D. Mitchell. Some of these guys on, and there's a lot of teams in the back half of this first round, including with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently picking on the clock at 23. This is someone who could use a wide receiver big time. So maybe we see another run at wide receiver here. But Mitchell, at least to the Eagles, is a good pick, and I do like that fit as they need a cornerback badly.
We are less than 50, or a little bit over, 51 subscribers away from 374,000 here on the Chat Sports main channel. So if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. We need 51 more. And I hate to break it to you, Rolly. Not only are we 51 away from 374,000, we did hit 5,000 likes. So
what do I got to do?
Here's a couple of Bean Boozled.
This is horse shit. Sorry for cussing.
Sorry for cussing.
Oh. What's the red one? Anyone got it?
It should be over there. Tom took it.
Oh, God. Is there a garbage can around here? There is. All
right there.
This is why you subscribe to the channel, folks. I don't even know. I don't even know what the good part would it be. Would it be strawberry, cherry? I don't even like cherry. If it's cherry, I'm screwed on either way. All right, whatever. Pop it, baby. Oh, that's not good. I actually don't know what the taste is, though.
Do you have a guess of what it is? Because Sam's going to find out what it could be.
I have no clue what that is.
Any guess? Because Sam's going to come back and tell us here.
I actually have no clue still.
Strawberry, pomegranate, or Old Bandage?
That might have been Old Bandage, honestly.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, if it was supposed to be pomegranate, that is the worst tasting pomegranate item of all time.
There you go.
That is not pomegranate.
We are now 45 subscribers away from 374,000. So hit that subscribe button. Nearly 4,000 people watching. I know there are 45 of you that are not subscribed. What are you doing? I mean, you're putting out coverage all weekend long. We have draft analysis for every single pick. Come on, guys. Come on.
I'm sorry. If you see my facial expression go
what are you
weird,
looking at?
Joel Embiid's playing a mild case of Bell's palsy? Palsy?
What is that?
That explains the twitchiness in the eye. How is he playing through that? That's incredible.
Did they win?
I know this is the NFL. They did.
They did. Damn it.
Yeah, he
You're
went
joking.
nuts.
What the fudge?
Oh, I mean, if we believe Pretty Ricky, Brian Thomas Jr. could be the pick. It is Brian Thomas Jr. to Jacksonville at 23. But let's keep on getting those subscriber numbers up. I need to get to 374 ASAP. Hit the sub button.
Want to hit those supers real quick, Jack?
I still think that's Old Bandage, by the way. I've changed my tone. That's Old Bandage.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Trey here on our main channel saying NFL might as well have had taken our first rounders this draft. Yeah. I mean, we kind of Falcons there did not exactly go with the right pick in Michael Penix Jr. That was not exactly what we were expecting. I think all Falcons fans would have rather Dallas Turner. That's just my mind.
Yeah.
Chad Jones, Rolly.
Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. Who? Thank you, Lotta Ray. Someone knows it around here. Yeah, shout out to Chad Jones. Dolphins, what's up, Nick? Good to see you again. Old memories, Willie Lowe. Yeah, Chad, I mean, listen, we had a lot of fun. Me, you, and Will as a three-man trio back in the 2022 NFL season. Hopefully we create a lot of fun memories going forward, Chad. But I hit up Will the other day when it was official that I was taking over. He gave me his blessing. It was like a marriage almost. I had to get his approval. I got it, and hopefully, Chad. Yeah, I had to get the approval from the father, Chad. So we're going to have a lot of fun in the offseason, and when the season rolls around in September and preseason in August, well, you know it's going to get litty around here, Chad Jones. Juggalotus with a 20. Congrats, Rolly. Stopped in to honor your kid. Well done, Juggalotus. You are the man, someone who has always shown me a lot of love, whether it be on the Heat Report, whether it be on Bears Now, and obviously Dolphins Today. You're a real one, my man, and hopefully we can create some more laughs as well in the future. Dolphins fans, I know a lot of people are wondering about the pick. We'll have more in depth as we go out throughout this rest of this draft and throughout the night. Chop Robinson, very interesting pick. Brian Thomas Jr., the most recent selection, though, in this draft. Jacksonville Jaguars move back from 17. They trade with the Minnesota Vikings, who went up and got Dallas Turner. And ultimately, I think the Jaguars came out like thieves here because they get a big-time replacement for Calvin Ridley, who left in the offseason to a division rival. Thomas Jr. was viewed as the wide receiver 4, pretty much, I would say unanimously. Got some Xavier Worthy buzz late, but I always had Thomas Jr. as that 4th guy. He's an incredible deep threat on the boundary. He's just an excellent X receiver. He can be a deep threat that you really have to tailor a defense to stop. He can blow by you. He can beat you in contested catch as well. He is really, really good. And as you see here, Downey's 24th overall prospect. He goes 23, so Shout out to Downey for nailing this puppy. But as you see, I mean, like, he was dominant at LSU as the wide receiver too, because the wide receiver 1, Malik Neighbors, went 6th overall. This is a great pick for Jacksonville to get Trevor Lawrence some more weapons after Ridley left.
Led the FBS in touchdowns at 17. And like you said, he is a big play merchant. Dude flies down the field, and of those 17 touchdowns, like 13 of them were deep balls, 40-plus yards, 25-plus yards. I mean, he was absolutely exceptional when it came to the deep ball. And guess what? They can do that with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. And I think for Trevor Lawrence, it's got to be a bounce back here. I mean, you have Gabe Davis now. You have Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, you lose Calvin Ridley, but still got a pretty good wide receiver core intact after losing him, and an offense that should be powered to go in a division that's going to be competitive. Brian Thomas Jr. will step right into the fire and be a day one guy for them right away. Let's go to Diana Rossini talking about the Texans, saying they don't have a first-round pick, although they have been working the phones tonight trying to get into the first round. So,
this doesn't shock me with the cornerbacks falling. One of the biggest needs for this team is that corner spot, and our own Jeremy Chuggs, who hosts Texans Today, was talking about how they're going to find a stud. He particularly mentioned TJ Tampa for Iowa State at that corner spot. But I'm telling you what, if they can move back into this first round and grab a Terrion Arnold, that would be spectacular if you're asking me, and you could see quite the offseason for Nick Caserio and the Texans in this draft with a good free agency as well.
Today's show is sponsored by Mando. Now spring into the season with a deodorant that can handle the heat. Mando is clinically proven to work hard all day. Instead of covering up BO with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor at the source, stopping the stink from happening in the first place. Created by a doctor, Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use everywhere, allowing you to put Mando in all those tough crevices and easy places that, pretty nice to keep smelling nice. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% of your starter pack. Use code CHAT to shopmando.com. Once again, chat for shopmando.com. I'm telling you, we got it all right here. It's the easiest thing to apply. They've got creams, and they've got great smelling ways. No artificial, all that. Heck, bourbon leather right here for the body wash. Pretty nice one right there. Smells amazing. And again, you can get that starter pack literally $5 off, 40% off basically your starter pack by using code CHAT. By going to shopmando.com. We have that link in the chat, as you can see right now. Click there, use code CHAT. I promise you will not be disappointed. Okay, Rolly.
I tell you what,
Cowboys.
I'm glad you got some Mando because now it doesn't smell as bad in here. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to throw the man under the bus.
I see.
I just had to do it.
Listen, the hot lights are here. Draft night.
Yeah. Good thing we're both rocking it, so we got a nice little smelling studio here. Shout out Brian Aycock in the Dolphins chat, $20 super chat. We'll get that on screen pretty quickly. Shout out to you, man. You're bringing the juice today. Brian, listen, I still got to get acclimated. Jack's saying when Brian's here, he brings the juice. I got to get acclimated to the Dolphins Today crew. Badass Brian's his nickname. I'm still getting acclimated to the Dolphins Today chat, and the people I'm looking forward to getting to know are you guys more. I know Chad Jones is from 2 years ago. Shout out to Brian, though. Finn, you're a Dolphins and Penn State fan, and you're still not sure if Chop was the pick. All right, then I feel very vindicated.
Oh, boy.
I feel very vindicated on hating the pick then, because if you like both programs over there and decide not to like the pick, then we're good there. But get in the comment section and shout out your favorite team. This is more tailored to the Chat Sports main chat, but comment your favorite team down below. Give it 30 seconds, and then we'll point down to the chat. The first team we'll see, we'll talk about them, what they did in today's draft, what they can do if they haven't made a selection yet or didn't have a first-round pick. So get the comment section flowing with your number one squad, and then if we pick you, we'll talk about you.
How about we play the game? I'll count to 10, and the first one you see.
Okay, I don't hate that.
All right. All right, so give me a second. Keep spamming those down in the comment section. I'll go down from 5 here, okay? So spam it right now, all your favorite teams. Once I see it starting to get rolling, we're going to pick a team. We're going to talk about them. And may the odds be in your favor because Rolly's the one who's picking it right now. So, all right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolly, who do you see?
I see Ghostface asking for the Cleveland Browns. Matthew Peterson getting in the action over here. Browns is an intriguing one, and it really is the first one that I saw is because, well, they don't actually pick today. And they do only have 5 total picks in this entire draft, with 2 of them being in the top 100. Third straight year without a first-round pick. Obviously, they swung big for Deshaun Watson a couple off seasons ago, and they're still kind of being held back by that, at least in the draft roots labor portion of it. So, listen, they have a lot of needs. You could go to the defensive line. You can go to the linebacker crew. You can find a wide receiver as well to be paired up with Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper. It's going to be intriguing to see what Andrew Berry does. He is not afraid to make a splash. We do know that for sure. Could they trade up into the first round? Maybe. Could we go see them go after and just stay put? Who knows? What do you think, Jace?
Giving Jerry Jeudy that contract, I think they'll just stay put for now. They'll have their pick later on here. 3rd year in a row, though, not having a first-round pick is kind of wild. Obviously, the big swinging thing, and it's something. But that's interesting.
You see teams do this all the time. I guess it's a new age thing. The Browns doing it. The Rams haven't picked since 2016. That changed today with their selection of Jared Verse. And oh boy. Wow, we have a trade here. Oh, look at this. The Detroit Lions are moving up, and the Cowboys, as they always like to do, they trade back. The Lions get the 24th overall pick, and it is going to be Terrion Arnold, the corner from Alabama. Many thought he was potentially the number 1 corner in this class. He ultimately falls all the way down to 24, where the Lions scoop up and pick him. That's a good addition for Detroit, man. They had a great draft last year, and it looks like they're going to have another good one this year. If you would have told Lions fans they walked away with this first round and it's Terrion Arnold, they probably would have thought you were smoking some crack.
Yeah, now this is a very solid pick for a secondary that could use some help. Terrion Arnold is what the doctor ordered perfectly. Just under 6 foot 189, the number 2 cornerback behind Quinion Mitchell, and a guy who fits the bill perfectly for what the Lions want to do. So this fits perfectly for them. Obviously, he is the number 2 cornerback, and his impressive ability to do a bunch of different things in that position is what makes him a perfect fit for the Detroit Lions. I think, honestly, this makes the Lions the clear favorite, although there is very much a competition going to be in the NFC North division. The Lions saw the Vikings making moves. The Lions saw the Bears making moves, and they said, well, shoot, I know we won it last year, but we got to do it again here. And they do it by going Terrion Arnold and trying to make sure they do it. So a little trade-up action here. Now, the full details of the trade are officially in, so we can bring those through to you as the Lions did move up to 24, giving away their 29th overall pick and their 3rd round pick. So the Cowboys still in the first round. Now they're 5 picks away at 29. Cowboys also getting the number 73 overall pick in the 3rd round. I like the trade.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what Dallas ends up doing with that 29th pick. There's a lot of rumors around them looking for an interior offensive lineman. Graham Barton and Jackson Powers-Johnson both on the board still. And if they feel comfortable that one of those 2 guys is going to be there when they pick at 29 now, it wouldn't shock me that that's the route they go. And if they're able to pick up an extra 3rd-round pick and still get one of their guys they were targeting in that interior offensive line group, well, then that would be pretty terrific. If you're asking me, Cowboys masterclass, some are saying. Just some. Not everyone, just some.
All right, Rolly. Well, why don't you take over from here on out? I got to go head out. Chiefs fans, if you're watching, we're about to be live fully on Chiefs. We'll talk fully into that. But for now, take it over, Rolly.
All right, appreciate Jace. As the Lions also got a 2025 7th. Ah, yes, the 2025 7th that really needed to get this deal done. If you guys really think, this is what I'm saying. Like, you really think when they're talking about the negotiations of this deal, Detroit's like, listen, we're not making this deal unless we get that 2025 7th. Simply not doing it. We will not make the deal unless we get the 2025 7. Jack said for that reason I'm out. I'll tell you what, I'll leave this stream right now and we will be hostless for however long if we don't get to 374,000 subscribers right now. 5 away from the big milestone here at Chat Sports. I appreciate all the real ones who have joined the channel already throughout the live stream, but we just need 5 more people to hit that magical red button to get over the hump here. So help us out. We are the best place on the market. We're going to be live for every pick in the NFL Draft, day 2, day 3. Oh, look at this. The real ones came through. Shout out to all of you guys. We also put 2 videos out on a daily basis. NBA, NFL, don't matter. Join the channel and continue to subscribe. All right, we'll be joined shortly, I think, by someone else. I don't know. Maybe it's just Rolly solo for the rest of the way. I'm taking it. Get past me to Rock and get out the way. Either way, Matthew Peterson is going to join us here in just a second. We'll recap the picks. Caleb Williams, Daniels, and Drake May go 1, 2, and 3. It was kind of the most expected outcome in the NFL Draft when people were coming in. Marvin Harrison Jr. going 4 as nobody elected to trade up to try to draft J.J. McCarthy because, well, he fell to 10, which we'll get to in just a second. Chargers go Joe Alt at 5. Malik Neighbors at pick 6 with New York. J.C. Latham going to the Titans with pick number 7. And the stunner of the draft thus far, Michael Penix Jr., the lefty from Washington, going to Atlanta. Yeah, if you're wondering, didn't they sign Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal? Yeah, that would be correct. I guess it doesn't matter for Terry Fontenot over the ATL. Roma Dunze going to the Bears at 9, and then J.J. Slide officially ends with Minnesota at pick 10. They moved up from 11 to 10 just to ensure their guy. Olu Fashanu goes to the Jets at pick number 11. Bo Nix, I don't know what the Broncos are doing, but they're doing something over there in Denver. At least they have a good basketball team. Bo Nix at 12. Brock Bowers at 13. He's the pick for the Raiders. They got a nice 1-2 punch with him and Michael Mayer. Fuaga, Oregon State, going to the Saints at 14. Latu at 15 for the Colts, the first defensive player taken after 14 offensive guys started this draft. Byron Murphy, the Texas defensive tackle, went to the Seahawks. Dallas Turner, some thought first guy going off the board defensively, goes 17th. Vikings trade up to get their guy, probably replacing Danielle Hunter. Amarius Mims going to the Bengals. He'll start? I don't know, honestly. Trent Brown's there. You still got Orlando Brown as well. Who knows what the Bengals are up to over in Cincy. Jared Verse, 19th to the Rams. First time they picked since 2016. They get their guy on the defensive side of the ball. Troy Fautanu out of Washington, slid because of a little bit of a knee injury, but he goes 20th to the Steelers. And then the last 4 selections. Chop Robinson, a little bit of a shocker as well, going to the Dolphins at 21. Quinion Mitchell, the first cornerback off the board, out of Toledo, heading to the Eagles. Brian Thomas Jr., which arguably might be the best pick in this draft if you're just talking in terms of value and fit, if you're asking me, going to the Jags at 23. Terrion Arnold, the corner from Alabama, who many thought could be in the top 15 of this draft, going to Detroit at 24. And then the most recent pick in the draft, Jordan Morgan, an offensive lineman from Arizona, heading over to Green Bay. I'm a little bit shocked at the slippage that we're seeing from Graham Barton, but Morgan, someone who can play inside, someone that can play outside. He's got the size to do both. And the Packers, who are probably looking for a Bakhtiari, or I just botched that name, Bakhtiari, whatever. Bakhtiari, nailed it, close enough. Looking for a replacement for him. Jordan Morgan could slide in to be that guy. Listen, the Packers front office rarely makes mistakes, so I'm going to be inclined to say this is a good selection. And listen, you see it from there. Downey's number 2 offensive guard, 39th overall, but can play offensive tackle if need be. He's a good pass protector. It'll be interesting to see. He had a lot of zone reps at Arizona. Thought a good fit for him would have been San Francisco because they have that zone scheme where they like to run with McCaffrey and get Brock Purdy and play action on the move, but evidently doesn't fall to pick 31. He's going to go to Green Bay, where I thought the Packers were really going to go with a Cooper DeJean or a corner because they need some secondary help, but evidently they go offensive line to try to find their next left tackle, and that is Jordan Morgan. We're seeing a slippage on A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, the 2 Texas wide receivers. There's only 6 picks to go in the first round. We'll see where they end up going to, but Jordan Morgan is the pick for Green Bay. And we'll see how that turns out for all of them. All right. Continue to hit that thumbs up button. Continue to comment what your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on this pick? Give me your thoughts in the comment section on Chat Sports between this Packers pick. I think it's a good one. I think, listen, it's hard for me to ever look at a Packers pick and say that's not going to work out. The one that was always the stunner was Jordan Love, and here we are 4 or 5 years later, and he looks like a good pick if you're asking me. So, listen, can't really knock anything Green Bay is doing. But Jordan Morgan, the offensive lineman from Arizona, number 2 ranked guard according to our Chat Sports draft expert of Tom Downey, going to the Green Bay Packers. Grade it for me down in the comment section. Seeing Go Pack Go from Montreal. Kool-Aid McKinstry is still on the board too. I mean, corners just sliding unbelievably. Thought that could have been a pick for them. Someone says Xavier Worthy of the Chiefs. That feels like a cheat code. That feels like this is scripted, and the Chiefs are going 3-peat. That feels cheating. But the Bucs are on the clock now. Be intrigued to see where they go. Johnny Newton, the D-tackle from Illinois, is still there. There's still a lot of good offensive linemen as well. Wide receivers still on the board. Continue to let me know what your thoughts on this Jordan Morgan pick is. And we're going to welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, the man who runs Chat Sports, Matthew Peterson. Welcome aboard the NFL Draft polo and all. You think this guy doesn't live for this day? Are you shitting me? Welcome in.
What a spark of energy, Rolly. I don't know if I can match that level at all, but yeah, I did find a really cool NFL draft polo online like 2 weeks ago, but it's been a whirlwind of a first round, a lot of offense, and I think that's just a reflection of 2 things. One, the way this draft was built, it was always going to have better offensive players than defensive players, and then 2, just the direction teams want to go right now. They want to score points, and offense is going to do that better than any defensive player you could get. So a lot of exciting picks so far. We're going to run through some of the picks recently made, along with Jordan Morgan, who's going to do his best to probably start off on the interior offensive line, then get kicked out to left tackle to replace David Bakhtiari in a season or 2. But I know Green Bay likes their currently penciled in left tackle, who they got in day 3 of the draft last year. But Rolly, and your initial thoughts? I mean, as I kind of join the loop here on the 2024 NFL Draft, we knew it would be exciting. Didn't think it would be so much offensive-minded.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I expect a lot of offense. And by the way, get the comment section with your least favorite team. My least favorite team, in case you're wondering, Buffalo Bills. F the Bills. They're picking a couple picks. I hate them.
Who do you want them to take then?
I don't want them to take Xavier Worthy or A.D. Mitchell.
That's what they're getting. I have bad news. They're getting one of those 2 guys.
They're getting one of those 2 guys.
Yeah, in my mock draft, I had them getting Xavier Worthy, which, by the way, it's kind of like brackets. No one gives a shit about my bracket or my fantasy team. But if you did, I have correctly mocked 11 players to the correct team.
11?
So yes.
That is.
Now,
hey,
not
Brett,
all of
you
them,
hearing this? Get Downey out of here.
Not all of them were in the same exact spot because of trades and whatnot.
You just mocked player to team?
Well, I had, for example, Brian Thomas to the Jags,
okay,
but I had that at 17. And then they traded back.
Fair. No,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a win.
I had the Vikings getting J.J. McCarthy, but not the exact trade-up package.
Yeah.
But I've correctly put 11 guys to the correct team.
I think I'm at 7. I'm a
little proud of myself.
Now. 7's a good number.
I did not get this one correct, but I did get the right position here. As the Bucs went offensive line, they went with center Graham Barton, which, by the way, in my mock draft, I had them going with a different center, Jackson Powers Johnson. So half credit. A little quarter credit.
You knew the position.
I'll take half credit.
The position of need. I'm gonna
got
count.
the possession.
You know that is a toilet bowl bucket in the NBA.
Like I had, for example, Lions going cornerback. Just didn't have him getting Arnold because I thought he'd be gone by then.
I mean,
but Graham Barton. Some people think he's like the best center in this draft. He's got a lot of versatility and experience to his game. He's played all over the offensive line. But I had the Bucs going center in my mock because their center Ryan Jensen retired. To me, it just seemed like too much of a no-brainer to go give Baker Mayfield a brand new starting center. So I think he'll slot in and be their immediate starter on the offensive line. It's a safe pick for the Bucs. It's not the sexy one, but they've made a lot of really safe picks the last few years in the draft, and they've actually turned out pretty well. Like Vita Vea isn't a butts and seats kind of pick, but he's got a big ass, and he's definitely done a lot of great things for the Tampa Bay. Bonk. Bonk.
Bonk.
But the Cardinals, next up on the clock here.
This feels like a BPA pick, which, I mean, you can't
perfectly
be mad
fine.
at it. Like, they needed to ensure that interior offensive line. Like, he's listed as a center, but I think he was more well-suited to be a guard in this draft. Like, he can really do either. He's very versatile. I think that was the number one thing that Tom Downey told me, Harrison Graham told me when we were talking about prospects is people legitimately see Barton as someone who can play all 5 spots on the offensive line.
I agree.
He could come in and play left guard, right guard, center. He can wait a couple years and transition to tackle. Like, this is just a guy that will be good and can play a lot of different ways. And listen, I got to be honest, I'm a versatility type of guy. If you can do a lot of different things and do it well, I'm going to be very fond of you. So I was a big fan of Barton coming into this process, which is why if you're watching on Dolphins Today, I was hoping Barton was going to be the pick for Miami at 21, but evidently they didn't go with
Yeah,
that.
not to be a rain cloud for Dolphins fans. Don't like the Chop Robinson pick at all.
I mean,
And that's because I don't like Robinson as a prospect.
can we be honest here? Like, that was the worst pick of the first round.
Yeah.
Well, second.
We'll talk about the first in just a
Yeah.
moment. We are going to say goodbye to all of our Chiefs viewers here. We're having a simulcast, so we're going to sign off on our Chiefs report in just a few seconds here. But appreciate you guys hanging out with us here at NFL Daily.
That was professional as hell right there.
Dude, that was good timing.
I mean,
got
that
the countdown and everything
I mean,
here.
it's almost like we do this for a living.
So, yeah, toothpicks I don't like. Chop Robinson. The reason why I don't like Chop Robinson is that I have a little bit of like a personal
Vendetta.
not vendetta, theory.
Okay.
That some positions in college football, if you don't have production, that's okay in the NFL. Like wide receiver, if you don't have a good quarterback in college, I can see how people misread you and you slip through the cracks. In college football, if you're an edge rusher and you can't get sacks, I don't see how you're going to wake up in the NFL and start to figure that out.
Yeah.
And he never had that at Penn State. He's an athletic traits guy. I don't think he's going to figure out how to play football in the NFL. I think he's a track star more than a football player.
Well, it's kind of like a couple years ago when the Jaguars took Trayvon Walker first overall. Like, everyone knew Aiden Hutchinson was the better defensive lineman and the better edge, but they were just like, holy shit, this guy's really athletic, and if he does figure it out, he can be a Myles Garrett type player. Well, evidently, here we are 2-3 years later.
He's
and
solid.
It's just like, why were you so stupid, and why did you take Aiden Hutchinson?
But Hutchinson's better.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm not super high on Robinson. I had a round 2 grade on Chop. The other pick, of course, is the Atlanta Falcons going with Michael Penix, which, by the way, has created incredible content for the internet in 2 different forms. One being Terry Fontenot, the Atlanta Falcons GM, telling the owner, Arthur Blank, about the pick live on camera. The captions, my favorite one so far is me telling my mom how a skunk got in my room. That one has sent me into...
Was Blank, like, stunned?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, he didn't know.
I think
you got to go look.
I got to react
Arthur
to this
Blake's
live.
like, what are we doing?
I got to react to
And
this
Terry's
live.
like, listen, Art, trust me on this one. He's going to get to here eventually. He's here right now, but he'll get up to here.
Oh, my God. Hold on. Here's the video.
Awful pick. And here's why. I like Penix a lot as a prospect. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I don't see why you spend $180 million, really $100 million in guaranteed, though, so we'll call it $100, on a quarterback when you have a top 10 pick, hopefully for the last time in a long time, and you use that pick for the 2026 Falcons. Shouldn't you support the 2024 Falcons, which you just spent $100 million guaranteed on, with a defensive end, your biggest need, or a wide receiver, or literally any other position than the one that cannot step on the field for the next 2 years when Kirk Cousins is going nowhere with the guaranteed money for 2024 and 2025. There's still guaranteed money in 2023, but if we just make it simple, you just said F it to the next 2 years of the Atlanta Falcons when you've got a top 10 pick to support that team to try and win playoff games.
By the way, I just saw the video.
It's hysterical.
He looked so, like, he was so stunned. It was that visual meme time. Visual meme. Mm-hmm. My boy is frozen. He hasn't moved. That was Arthur Blank almost.
Yeah.
He was told, he was just like, really? Like, what'd we do? Like, we just paid $180 million in money for a quarterback, but we're drafting one at 8? That doesn't make any sense.
And I think Terry Fontenot in that moment, it's kind of like trying to explain to someone that you are conning that you're not conning them. And that's your boss. So that's created some great content for the for the internet. Brian with the $5 super chat. Jets suck.
Dolphins today, baby. Brian, what I've learned very quickly, Brian Aycock and Chad Jones are D-Wade and LeBron if we're going to NBA terms. Just throwing lobs
Verbal
to each
meme.
other.
D-Wade lobbing it up.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know who's D-Wade and who's LeBron. Probably, well, D-Wade's the GOAT of the Heat, so we're going with Chad Jones there. Aycock's the one slamming it down right now. He hates the Jets, which I can respect that. Continue to let us know who you hate the most. I see a lot of Cowgirls. That's clever. We see some Steelers, Commanders. All right,
we got to pick. We got to pick. Darius Robinson, the defensive end from Mizzou, is an Arizona Cardinal. If you went and looked at the Cardinals depth chart and took a shot every time you didn't know a starter, you would not remember anything of the 2024 NFL Draft. So this is a really nice pick for the Cardinals defense. I personally had a bit of a round 2 grade on him. I think that's reflected with Tom Downey's overall ranking of number 38. But he's got a huge frame. You can put him across the defensive line. I think he's going to be a traditional defensive end in a 4-3 front. I don't think he's built to be an outside linebacker in a 3-4. You could probably even kick him in a little bit if you want to get an extra pass rusher on the field. There's a lot to like about Darius Robinson from a physical trait standpoint, in addition to production, plus leader, captain, heart and soul of the Mizzou defense in a lot of ways. For Arizona at 27 here, they go Marvin Harrison in the top 5. Now they balance things out with their second first-round pick on the defensive line. Most of the top edge rushers are gone, right? You've seen 4 go already.
I think he was one of the last people that was actually in the green room at the NFL Draft still there, so at least we don't have a moment where...
When he walked in, I thought, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd go. So I'm happy for him.
At least he was able to get in the first round. And listen, the Cardinals, you were wondering if they were going to trade back from 4 and really try to capitalize on getting more prospects and more draft capital, but I'm fine with these 2 picks. Listen, they have a lot of work to do on this roster. You get the stud blue chip wide receiver who many thought was just the best prospect in this actual class, regardless of position. Then you get an impactful defensive lineman here in the later portion of the first round, 8.5 sacks. Unlike Chop Robinson, probably the actually opposite, more of a productive player at college rather than a traitsy guy.
Right, he's bigger than Chop. Chop's an outside linebacker. He's a defensive end. He's got 25, maybe even 30 pounds on Chop Robinson, so he's got the production standpoint. He's got a big frame that it's just one of those things that I think fans sometimes lose perspective of. When you're in the room with some of these NFL players, it's hard not to be like, now that's a guy that can go kill a quarterback when you're that big and that strong and that fast. So we'll take you. Quick plug here on our Super Chat menu. Every 500 likes, we're doing Bean Boozled. We are across 5,000 likes.
Yeah, I had to take that one. Which, by the way,
did you lose?
I did lose, and I wasn't sure if it was pomegranate or...
No more pomegranate.
Or if it was, what was it called? Bandage or something? Worn bandage?
Pomegranate's a horrible window.
It wasn't pomegranate because it was bandage, and I'm telling you, I felt disgust after a minute of eating it. Like, it didn't hurt off the rip, but the aftertaste was absolutely abysmal.
$10 Super Chat. We'll talk about your team. You may not like it if we don't think your team made a good pick. Wink, wink, the Atlanta Falcons, but we'll still talk about it. $20, you get entered into our Super Chat raffle. What is the raffle for today, Rolly?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
Yeah, well, I just joined. I'm trying to get the visual effects here. Producer Jack will toss that on screen. Day 1 draft swag pack. I'm sold. I'll tell you that. You put swag on there, Michael Scott. Stuff we all get. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. Ooh,
did they hear you just say that or no? Okay.
Oh, no, unmute yourself. You delivered so
eloquently. Come on, Jack.
Okay. Everyone spam Jack in the chat. Let's go! Jack, what do the good people get?
Thank you for that. You will be getting a draft hat and a shirt of your favorite team, plus a few little Chat Sports goodies as well.
Love that.
I love it.
I know the Chat Sports goodies is sunglasses.
Shut the fuck up.
Was I supposed to tell?
I think it's a better secret.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a few more things.
There's other things other
I
than
like
sunglasses.
the surprise element.
There's other thing other than sunglasses.
Smoke screens.
Maybe there isn't sunglasses.
Job application.
I mean,
host of Dolphins Today.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Day 1 MVP, rookie jersey. Okay,
of your
so
choice,
let's talk about
who is the MVP
rookies.
So far? Anyone know? Curvin Cold. That's a cold name.
Based on the picks, if you're to get a jersey, like remove your own personal like fandom.
Yeah.
Who got picked today that you think they'd be a great jersey? Like I think Marvin Harrison Cardinals jersey would be sick.
That's good. That's gonna be tough. I'll tell you right now, I do not like this team. Malik Neighbors' New York Giants jersey will sell. That will sell.
That's hotcakes.
Like crack in the 80s.
Yeah. I'm very happy that Caleb Williams is wearing 18 for the Bears.
Bad number. He's a bust.
No, he's Peyton Manning.
No.
13's a witch. It's a witch.
No,
witch number.
18 is a terrible number.
No, great. I would take an 18 Peyton Manning and Caleb Williams. Ian Rappaport, we got some news. We'll see if we get a trade, but there was a lot of action in the late 20s from teams trying to come up.
And I think we do have a trade because
we have a trade.
Sources are saying the Chiefs just traded with the Bills.
Impossible.
Why would the Bills
Impossible.
do this?
Why would either side do this? Someone's losing this trade.
No, well,
and that's pretty risky.
It sounds like the Chiefs are moving up for a wide receiver, but why would the Bills openly give the Chiefs a wide receiver?
Oh, this is kind of like the Bills giving your wife's boyfriend a condom. Like, it's a little bit of a beta move.
Am I allowed to say cuck on the? Because this feels like a cuck.
They're getting cucked here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is embarrassing if you're Buffalo. That's the one team you can't trade with.
I mean, Dolphins fans, City Boys, we up. This is such a bad move from Buffalo. They are a disaster of an organization.
I would have thought by now Buffalo blocked Kansas City's number.
How could
I just
you
don't
let
think
this
those
happen?
are two organizations that ever want to work together.
How could this happen? Now, the Bills, I would assume they still are going to be picking 32, and they have a pick in this first round.
32 and probably take on, I don't know, the Chiefs' third-round pick.
You think there's a premium in this trade because it is technically like two teams competing?
Oh, the pick is in. The Kansas City Chiefs, after trading up with their rival Buffalo Bill counterparts, are going with a Texas wide receiver, but maybe not the one you thought. It's Xavier Worthy, the pick. And if you're the Bills, maybe you're okay that they went with him instead of A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, Worthy obviously set the record for the combine 40-yard dash.
So did John Ross.
Henry Ruggs. Streets are talking. That's
it's
all
football, not track.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I will say, though, if this ends up working out for Kansas City, my goodness, could you just – like, I see what Kansas City's trying to do here. It's very obvious that they're looking to just find another Tyreek Hill, which I think he caught lightning in a bottle with Hill.
Yeah.
Like, I think trying to chase that high is a mistake. But Worthy is someone very capable. If he fills out and reaches his projection, he could be as dynamic as it comes, man.
He's got to add some weight. I hate to sound like a dietitian. He can come hang out with me if he wants to get that done. But he's at 165 pounds. He's got some issues with drops, but of course he ran a 4.2 140. So you get the ball to him in open space, and it's going to be tough to bring him down. But he's a straight line receiver. I don't think he has an extensive route tree, and that's perfectly fine. Because if there's a team that can draw up good plays for their strengths, it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
And to me here, Petey, remember that trade they made for a certain former wide receiver from the Giants? His name was Kadarius Toney, but he still kind of stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that role that they projected for him, or when they made that trade, I think is the role that they're going to give Xavier Worthy. He's got lightning quick speed. He's a very fascinating player when he gets the ball in his hands, and he can either run by you. I can see that play that they love to run with the jet sweeps and the fake pitch, come back this way, little toss. Like, they're going to try to get everything, or try to do everything in their power to get Xavier Worthy the ball in space and on the move. This could be as dynamic as a pick as we have in this draft. And when we look back in 2 to 3 years, we could be like, how did the NFL let this happen?
A little bit. I would have preferred if I was Kansas City, A.D. Mitchell. But I think it's fair to say the Chiefs are 20 times smarter than I am. So if they want to go Xavier Worthy, what do I know? Go Xavier Worthy.
They just win 2 Super Bowls in a row?
Yeah.
They probably know more than us.
They found Rashee Rice in round 2 last year. He was impactful, probably a little bit too fast. But this is definitely a little bit of like a replacement for 2 guys. You like that one?
Yeah,
Rice
that was
is gonna
good.
miss
That
some-
was good.
I try to play it off.
I don't know how we didn't get a laugh from these 3 over here.
We have 2 people in the studio that don't even know we're talking. Yeah. Okay. Rashee Rice is likely going to get suspended, and I wonder if you see some phone calls coming to Kansas City for Kadarius Toney, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean,
They traded a third for him, and you know what? they traded a third to win the Super Bowl because he returned a punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean,
and that was good enough.
They did get their ROI there.
Yeah. That was big. That was big terminology.
I went to college. If you didn't know before that, you do now. Well, folks, we are coming to a close on today's 2024 NFL Draft. We only have picks 29, pick 30, 31, and 32. So we have a limited amount of time to set our record of 1,359 chat rate. That's what we achieved in the 2023 NFL Draft just a year ago. We need to beat it. We need to get better year after year. So if you're one of the 3,000 people still watching, spam me. Let's go. We're giving shout-outs.
Mike Dibble.
One last chance to get the victory. Spam the me's down below.
I've got Dill and I've got Cole. You want to play a game? You say a name, I say a name.
Okay.
No repeating.
Go.
Justin.
Nitro.
Jonathan.
J-Dub.
Buke.
Eric.
Jonathan.
Alec.
Harley.
Saul.
Damn it.
Harley.
Mine.
Oh, I thought you won.
Oh, Ghostface.
Me.
Finn.
Levi.
Marshall.
Xavier McKinney.
Caden Wood.
Splashy.
David McKinney's here? Touchdowns and tokes.
FinFan.
Kaylee.
Tez. I already said that.
I lost 20 minutes ago. Dylan's here. I appreciate everyone for spamming me. Keep spamming me. Don't stop. Oh, okay. Keep going, guys. Come on. Okay. This is for our boss, James. So if you want to spare Rolly and I from a 5 a.m. meeting tomorrow, spam me until your fingers bleed. Jacob, Jason, Brad, J-Dub, Mike Dibble, a longtime chat sports legend, might I add, too. David's here. Evan, Brad, Jacob, Splashy Soup. Splashy Soup, that kind of worked out pretty well.
I like that name.
Paul
Splashy
V.
Soup.
No, two different people. He's the GOAT. Okay, we're the only one that has not beaten our chat record from last year at 1359. So
Come
go
on,
ahead and
you know
spam
what?
me.
I'm helping us out here. I'm gonna start spamming too. Come on, join me. Spam those bees. Angelo Santos, Devon Jennings, Tank, Marcus, David French. Continue. If you want a shout out, we gotta beat the record, folks. We only have 4 picks left in the first round. We're gonna be live for the next 2 days, but if we don't beat the record, we might have to scratch that. Roy, Marcus, Kyle, Luis, Paul, Splashy, Jason, Angelo, Kaylee, Cole, Roy, Brad, Luis, Chris, Dylan, Cole, J-Dub, Marcus, Evan, Dibble, Book, Fist, Junior, Jimmy Garoppolo? No, it's Jimmy Galindo. Just, Derek, Marshall, Paul V, Alec, Angelo, Dylan, it's flying in. Soup, J-Dub, Evan, Jason, Luis, Roy, Sam, Marcus, Cowboys for Life. Oh, I can't say that name. Mike Dibble, Junior Estrada, Bob, Cole Bridges, Cody, Billy Waldron, Jacob Riley, Chris Williams, David French, Cody DeShronlu. Botch that. No Good Nick, Sam, Eric B, Joshua Durr, Council, Bob, Kaylee, Roy Daniels, Benjamin, Paul V, Fins Fan, Benjamin.
We got a pick. Pick number 29 from the Dallas Cowboys is in, and it's the exact pick you thought they would make. They went offensive line. It is Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. He is traveling south. Yeah, another offensive lineman just from the state of Oklahoma. Tyler Smith from Tulsa, not too many years ago, 2 years ago. And now we have Tyler Guyton coming down from Norman. So a short drive for him, but this seemed like the most Dallas Cowboys move ever. They traded back, and they probably got the same guy they were going to take at their initial spot. And they picked up an extra day 2, day 3 pick in the process.
You know, I thought they would have thought about going Jackson Powers Johnson here, but maybe that injury history of concussions and the head injuries.
They lose Tyler Biadasz in free agency.
Yeah, I thought that was a perfect fit for Dallas, but evidently I think teams are getting scared off by that JPJ injury history. But Tyler Guyton is someone who has the potential to be an elite offensive tackle inside the National Football League. He's got elite traits. As you see in our scouting report, he began as a defensive lineman. The traits are there. The physicality is there. It's all about if he could put the footwork and the technique into the form to be matching that athleticism, because if he's able to do that, well, then we're going to have a really elite left tackle or right tackle on our hands. it was going to be interesting to see if Guyton slipped into the second round, but evidently Dallas scoops him up here at number 29. I actually do like the pick for Dallas.
Yeah, he started off at TCU. He transfers to Oklahoma. He was primarily a right tackle for the Sooners, so we know that Dallas tends to get creative with their offensive linemen. They like versatility, so we'll see if they end up moving him to guard. I thought if they didn't go with a clear and obvious guard, then they would kick Tyler Smith to left tackle to replace Tyron Smith. But ultimately, I don't know if they actually check their new left tackle box with this Tyler Guyton selection. Remains to be seen if they want to move him to tackle or what they want to do with, want to put Steele at left tackle. There's a lot of different options they have, so we'll see. But for now, I think it's a very good and safe pick like most Dallas Cowboys late first-round picks are.
Yeah. We got some picks to get through to round out this first round, but we are sponsored by Game Time, the #1 ticketing app on the market. And if you want the best seats with the lowest price guaranteed in the springtime, this is the place to go, whether it be to concerts, comedy shows, baseball games as MLB is underway, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. If you're wanting to go to an event last minute, this is the app that you absolutely need to download. It is the best ticketing app for last minute tickets. They show your vantage point as you see on screen right here. They won't lie to you. They're going to show you exactly where you're sitting, whether it be in an NHL game, a concert. They do it all, and they have all-in pricing as well that allows you to see how much it will actually cost you. Because how many times have you gone to checkout and got blindsided by fees that make it double the price? Game Time won't let you do that. There's also flash deals and zone deals where they're trying to put your butt in a seat. So if there's some spots left at that venue, they're going to give you a deal to potentially go. So get started today. It's the best place to find last-minute seats. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
I just want to share this quick tweet from Jordan Schultz on the Chiefs drafting Xavier Worthy. Text from an AFC GM. Fuck me. Really makes you wonder, is there going to be a moment next January when Xavier Worthy has a walk-off touchdown to beat the Bills and Buffalo fans are like, and we enabled this? I just don't understand. Like, sure, you may get a better trade. Like, you may won that trade based on like the picks going back and forth. But if you could stand in the way of stopping your biggest rival from accomplishing what they want to do, don't you think it's worth it to pass on a really good offer to make sure Kansas City doesn't get the guy they want?
I mean, that's why there's a premium when you trade within division and you see so little amount of trades between two teams playing in division because they play 2 times a year and, you don't want to play them. But, I mean, it's bold move from Buffalo, man.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
My only guess is I guess Buffalo knew who Kansas City was going to take and knew that
fine with it.
And knew that no one between them and the Chiefs would take him. So if they were going to get the guy anyway, you might as well take a third-round pick from them.
Yeah,
because I don't think the Cowboys were going to do it. I don't think the 49ers were looking at a wide receiver. So they may have felt like,
well,
I'll tell you what,
the 49ers are about to be on the clock, and if they take a wide receiver, that to me is signaling Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk will not be on this roster by the end of the weekend.
But A.D. Mitchell slipped to round 2. We're just going to cycle through the draft picks made so far, so just read at your leisure as we have Brock Bowers continuing the run at 13 for offensive players, followed by Talisi Fuaga, and then the first defensive player off the board, Leatu Latu to the Indianapolis Colts, followed by Byron Murphy, who I mocked, no big deal, no one cares. Dallas Turner to the Minnesota Vikings. I like this right here. We got Amarius Mims to the Bengals and Troy Fatanu to the Steelers. Man, it really makes you wonder. I wonder who those teams are getting tackles to stop in their own division.
Oh.
Might be a certain guy in Northeast Ohio that they are
I wonder who you could be
tired
talking
of their quarterback taking hits from. Oh, yeah, Myles Garrett. The Rams, welcome back. Round 1. I thought they would at least trade up or down just so they could either, if they traded up, it would be to get rid of picks so that they had less work to do this weekend. That seems like a very Rams thing to do of like, there's a wine tasting in Napa Valley. Can we trade out of rounds 5 through 7? Like, let's get on the PJ. or trade out of round 1 altogether because they forgot about Thursday night NFL draft.
They're not used to doing this.
This is a whole.
I do like the pick of verse, by the way.
I actually do.
That's a good pick for them.
Don't like the next one though on screen. Chop Robinson.
We're just going to continue to bully the Dolphins.
I'm sorry, Chop. And here's the thing about the draft. If you're critical of a pick, you're the biggest POS because this is their day, and who am I to stand here and be like, you're not fast enough? I'm like, I'm not fast. But I just got to be honest and say, I don't like the Robinson pick much. I like the next 3 picks a lot,
The next 3 picks are fantastic. I think Brian Thomas Jr. might be the best pick in this draft in terms of value and fit. Mm-hmm. They needed a wide receiver on that X position to replace Calvin Ridley, and they get it in Brian Thomas Jr. And then the 2 top corners going 22 and 24. Fantastic there. The next 4 picks are interesting. Morgan is a solid offensive guard, tackle hybrid out of Arizona. Barton was just a BPA pick from Tampa, which seems like they just do that every time they're on the clock nowadays. They don't care what position you play, but if you're the best player on the board, we're taking you. And then the most fascinating one here, Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs trade up with the Buffalo Bills to draft the speedy wide receiver out of Texas. That could be a pick we look back on and are like, ooh, boy.
Yes, indeed. And what's funny is in my mock draft, I had the Chiefs trading up 1 spot ahead of the Bills.
Take A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah. So missed the note on that part. And then most recently, Nate Wiggins, the cornerback out of Clemson, is the Baltimore Ravens selection. There's a lot to like about Wiggins. He's the fastest corner, essentially, in this draft. He's got really good length as well. So from a physical traits, when you evaluate corners, you really want to see the speed because they got to run faster than guys who know where they're going, and the length so you don't get mossed. The issue with him is he's a little bit on the smaller size, and I think that's going to lead to a history or a career of on and off injuries. I mean, unfortunately, he fell victim to an injury during the NFL Combine, and I think that may be a sign of more to come. But for the Baltimore Ravens, it's never a bad idea to invest in cornerstone pieces when you have to go face Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Listen, he's got speed, and this Ravens team, they just find ways to utilize guys. I don't care where you're coming from. I don't care what position you play.
They draft better than anyone else mostly.
They will find a way to get you on a football field and be impactful for them. And you get someone with the athletic profile that Nate Wiggins possesses. Like, Dane Brugler was talking a bit about him potentially being someone that goes in the top 15 very early in the draft process. I think this is a good steal by Baltimore, who likes to play in a lot of different variations on defense. Like, they won't give you a lot of looks in back-to-back like Kyle Hamilton, and then you bring in the speed of Nate Wiggins now. Like, this is a good pick, man.
It is. Quick plug here. Our Super Chat menu, if you're enjoying the content we're providing, and you want to support the channel, Super Chats are a great way to do so. Every 500 likes, we're doing Bean Boozled. We got a little bit of ways to go on that front, a little over 400 likes. $10, we'll talk about your team. $20, we got an awesome raffle going on. You can get entered for a Day 1 draft swag pack. And then the Day 1 MVP will get the rookie jersey of their choice. Cool rookie jerseys, I think. Marvin Harrison, we talked about Caleb Williams. Malik Neighbors is a great one.
Brock Bowers' Vegas jersey is kind of tough.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Brock Bowers' Vegas, there's a great cam saw in his living room, and his dad was like, uh-oh. It was like the face of a man who's banned from Las Vegas, and his son just got drafted to the Raiders. So that was great.
I'll also say this. We are $74 away from 1,000 on our main chat sports channel.
We got to get there.
We need to get there. If we get to 74, beer bong race, you in? Close out the night? No?
I've gone a long time without drinking alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were going with that.
And no. I'm not in rehab or anything.
Okay.
But
I thought you were in rehab.
I took a little hiatus. And so...
I don't want to. You know what? He's sober. He's 7 years sober, so we'll leave him over there.
It's like 3.5
I
weeks.
will do a beer bong if we get to $1,000 in super chats. Come on, we are so close. You never like to be this close to finishing, and you're not allowed to finish. Let's get there. Let's get to 1,000 right now. Come on.
We got Charlie. We got Superb. We got Knowledge Untamed. Mike Dibble. Mike Dibble, what are the trade details of Bills and Chiefs? Let me read out the trade details to you. We got them. I don't need to read it. You can read. You have eyes. I've made that joke before and it hasn't always landed. Chiefs, Bills swapping first rounders. And in exchange for Buffalo falling back from 28 to 32, they go from round 4 up to the end of round 3, and they move up in round 7. So they basically do pick swaps in 3 rounds. Round 1, which benefits the Chiefs, and then rounds 3 to 4, and then 7 and 7, which benefits Buffalo. My suspicion is the Bills had a feeling that no one between them and Kansas City was going to go wide receiver, so they may as well try and bleed Kansas City of a third-round pick before they get the guy they want the whole time anyway. But then again, if you're the Chiefs, why not just stay at 32?
I mean,
maybe they thought the Ravens could take him.
But if you're Buffalo, like say you wanted A.D. Mitchell, well, as long as the 49ers don't take him here at 31, you can still get your guy, or maybe go Xavier Legette, Ladd McConkey, another 2 really solid wide receivers that are still on the board. There's a lot of good picks in this draft, and I mean these 2 guys. I'll tell you what, if the Bills come away with A.D. Mitchell, that could be the best pick in the entire draft, if we're going to be honest. But I want to know who you think the best pick from round 1 is. Let me know in the comment section who you think the best pick was. We're giving shout-outs in the chat for when you give your answer right now. Let me know down below. Oh! Jack Lotteray is doing a beer bong race with me if we get to a K. How about that? We're 74 away. Who's going to step up and get the job done?
We've also got pick 31 in from the San Francisco 49ers. I thought they'd go offensive line, but I think this is a combo pick of best player available, and we want to take down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl next time. So a good way to do that is get a corner.
I was hoping they were going to draft wide receiver so I could see them going, oh, wait a minute. We don't have this confirmed anymore.
No?
I mean, I don't see anyone else other than Dov and Draft Diamonds, and Draft Diamond says
we got cut?
So this might not be the pick. But either way, I see
Internet lied.
Roma Dunze, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Xavier Worthy, Brock Bowers, as some of the best picks in the first round. Time Man really is, JJ.
Ooh, the 49ers go wide receiver?
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's electric.
They're going to go with Florida's Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, my God. Brandon Ayuk is getting dealt, or Deebo Samuel.
One Arizona State wide receiver is going to leave for another Arizona State legend, Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall is a very good player. Shocked to see him go above A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, and a couple of those guys. He's very smooth, a great route runner, big body. I'm a big fan of this pick.
Top 3 hands, I would say, in this draft. Like when you really think about what a wide receiver needs to do, catch the football, Marvin Harrison, Roma Dunze, and Ricky Pearsall are probably in the top tier.
Quick question for Jack and Sam. Who is the MVP and how much money is the MVP? MVP is, hold on,
please.
Kurgan Cold, $358. So Dibble, you heard it right there, $358.
Oh.
Dibble's at 100, so a 160 bomb, I know it's a very odd number, would technically get you that MVP.
Dibble just won MVP. I'm just gonna forecast that right now.
You think so?
You just challenged Mike Dibble. It's 260.
I hoped.
It's 260.
I thought you said 358.
And Dibble's at 100?
I thought he was. Oh, you know what? I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Mr. I have a college degree, ROI.
ROI.
Yeah.
Listen,
you were a communications major if I've ever seen one.
Just go around telling people. The Bills are trading back again.
Bills are trading back to get A.D. Mitchell. I know it. I know
it. Second, we're gonna get a trade back to get get him though.
At 32. Oh, they're 32.
As I say, they're at 32.
I thought they were trading back into round 1. Okay.
All right. Either way, Ricky Pearsall is the pick here for the 49ers at 31, the 9th-ranked wide receiver from Tom Downey. But I got to be honest, he rose for me personally up my wide receiver rankings. He cracked my top 10. I think he was at my 9 as well. He is very versatile where he can play on the outside as an X wide receiver. He can play inside. He can move all the way around, and he is really good out of his breaks, man. Like he can. I think Downey might be wrong on this one. I'm calling Tom out. I think he's very good at getting out of his breaks over the middle of the field running routes. Downey doesn't think so. This is a great pick for San Francisco, and if they view this as a Brandon Ayuk replacement because they can't get a deal done and he's getting dealt over the weekend,
his price went up after A.J. Brown's contract. The thing with Ricky Pearsall is for the 49ers, like, like you mentioned with Debo and Ayuk, that's definitely some question marks. We talked earlier about how production can be misleading based on your position.
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall played 1 year with Anthony Richardson, 1 year with Graham Mertz. Which year do you think he had the better year in? Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I'd probably.
You give him an NFL quarterback, and he's going to put up some pretty good numbers for you.
Yeah. We also have a trade to round out the night. Look at this.
The Panthers, they are moving up one spot.
Xavier Legette.
I think it's A.D. Mitchell.
I think it's Legette.
You think? I think they would feel confident that Legette would be there.
on the line here?
Have you seen on Twitter?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Okay, deal.
Oh,
I'm so excited. You better not have like a source in Carolina.
I don't. Oh, Legette did say the other day that if he was on the board at 33, Carolina said they were going to take him. So I'm just going off that. If that counts as insider source.
That's the most ballers thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
He said it publicly a couple days ago. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, so here are the trade details. They swapped 33 and 32, and in exchange, the Bills acquire pick 200. The Panthers acquire pick 141. Or all the way around. The Bills acquire pick 141, and the Panthers acquire pick 200.
Possible?
What do you mean?
Is he wrong in that? Bills get 141.
Carolina's trading 33 and 141 for 32 and 200.
Okay, that makes sense. I think
Yeah.
they had it wrong on there. Nailed it. You own a bead boozled. Xavier got it 32. Hey! Albert Breer nails it, and that's how we round out tonight. Take your poison, kid. Take your poison.
Main Bean Studio. I'm going to take the one that is my favorite flavor so that if I'm right, it's... What did I tell you? What did I tell you? There was never a doubt. Never a doubt.
Holy shit!
I did not get bean beazled.
The GOAT's in the building, baby! Mike Dibble!
The
He's
Michael
always
Jordan
here.
of YouTube. Mike Dibble. A $400 US super chat.
He's a big-time player who makes big-time plays. Shout out to Mike Dibble, baby. Let's go.
I want the ball in one man's hand in the fourth quarter. Mike Dibble. Michael Dibble.
Martians pointing the beam of death down to the building. I get one shot. Give me Dibble, baby.
This will get us over 1,000. You could say that. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Petey, I'm hoping this is a Cooper jersey, but either way, this is for two of my favorite chat sports announcers. Petey, you're amazing, and Nick, I will see you at the NBA draft. Love everyone here. Can't wait for night 2. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Dibble, 2 clap. 1, 2.
Oh, that was crisp.
God, that felt good.
Oh, that was crisp.
Now, Dibble, you say this is for an Amari. I think you mean Amari Cooper. Is there another Cooper DeJean?
That's the only.
Well,
it was like it was
a
MVP
rookie jersey.
Was rookie jersey, but if you would,
if
he just wants an Amari Cooper.
I don't see why it's a big deal if it's Amari Cooper. Yeah, I know. If you want Amari Cooper, we can do that. If you want, we can wait till whoever the Browns pick tomorrow. It's your call, dude. It's your call.
Yeah, well, it's your world. We're just living in it.
I'll go to China and put the jersey together myself if I have to, Dibble. Thank you.
Wow. Shocker.
Dibble. I knew the moment you said, or Dibble asked what he has to do, he would answer the call.
Dibble's just the man, and that means we owe 2 beer bong skis. Okay. Holy shit! Oh shit! We just got a first-time $100 super chat on Dolphins.
Oh.
Dolphin City. This is for the GOAT Rolly. Oh, what did I do to deserve this? I don't know what I did, Dolphin City.
Scared the crap out of me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is unbelievable. This came out of absolutely nowhere. Dolphin City, first time $100 super chat. Bang! Let's go!
Let's go!
I don't know what I did to deserve that comment from Dolphin City, but I appreciate you. First time 100 bomb. That is greatly appreciated, and we're going to get to work on Dolphins today. I tell you what.
Let's do it.
We're going to get to work on that puppy.
Bingo.
We're whipping it back into shape over there.
Oh, Dibble. Edrin Cooper putting it into existence. That's the Browns' 54th overall pick. Dibble, we'll come back to this tomorrow, and you can solidify whatever you want, but I am so proud that you are trying to super chat this into existence. Edrin Cooper, you are a Cleveland Brown.
I can't believe Dolphin City Bangarang. We also have a couple super chats that we have to get to as well. But first, we'll close out this NFL first-round draft with Xavier Legette, the South Carolina wide receiver, who, as I mentioned to PD just a little bit ago, was told by Carolina, allegedly, as he told a podcast, that if he was there at 33, they would take him. Well, he was there at 32, and they elected to move up to get him to close out the first round to make sure they get that fifth-year option for the South Carolina wide receiver. He's very physical. He's very good after the catch. A lot of people have compared him to a Deebo Samuel type, an A.J. Brown guy who's just a big-bodied wide receiver that if you get the ball into his hands can make a lot of good things happen. He's got burners. I'm a big fan of Legette. There's a couple teams that opening up this second round tomorrow evening that were probably hoping he was going to fall. Buffalo, it evidently wasn't in on Legette. They'll be opening up at the second round after the trade back, likely eyeing A.D. Mitchell, to be honest, or maybe they swing big for Brandon Ayuk. But a couple wide receiver needy teams aren't going to be able to draft a guy that a lot of people had on high on their board with Xavier Legette.
Yeah, so the thing with Legette is he spent 5 years at South Carolina, only started his final season. In fact, his first few seasons, he went through a lot of ups and downs, whether it was coaching changes or things off the field. And it's great to see Legette continue to work hard and find himself being drafted in the first round. I think this is going to be a little bit of a project pick. He only has 1 year of starting experience. He's one of the best physical athletes in this draft. He's one of those freaky athletes that just does not come around in every single year's draft. But I think a wide receiver coach is going to have his work cut out for him because he's got to turn a guy who really only has 1 year of wide receiver experience into a consistent threat for and target for Bryce Young. So ceiling super high. The floor is low because of that lack of experience. All right, next up,
I think it's beer bong time.
beer bong time.
I mean, I'm glad that we're doing a beer bong. This is for Dolphin City. This is for Mike Dibble. This is for all the real ones, specifically Dibble. Marty K saying Rolly ... I don't know what that means, Marty K. I know you're a Bears guy. Are they upset at me for not returning to Bears now? To be honest, I didn't expect to be on here this long, but sorry, Bears fans. I don't know what to tell you.
Beer bong race is coming up between Jackson Lauderay and Nicholas Rohloff. Who do you got?
For the Shield, baby. For the Shield. Let's go.
Goodell or Nick?
Guys.
No, Rob Lowe.
I don't want to flame these two people to my right and to my left. Which one is more corny? The NFL hat or the NFL draft polo? Let me know down below which one's worse.
Beautiful.
Let me know which one's worse. As I'm over here rocking.
I'll be
nothing.
honest, I've been stopped by every single person in this office today commenting and complimenting my polo.
Are you sure they're compliments?
They are.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. I've gotten more attention on this today than my birthday. Everyone has said it. People in the elevator, strangers.
Lies.
Me? Yes.
Lies.
On the way up, he's like, "You work for the draft?" I was like, "No, I'm in Dallas."
All right, let's get it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Never doubt.
49ers are likely to move Ayuk to trade Deebo Samuel over Brandon Ayuk, according to Mike Silver.
Doesn't shock me. It felt like one of them was gone, though, right?
Where does Deebo Samuel go?
I
I would think they'd want to trade him to the AFC.
would agree. Here's a quick thing. Here's the thing, though, about Deebo. I'm kind of out on Deebo. He's getting paid a lot of money now, and I don't think he's the best route runner. I think he's very good in that San Francisco 49ers scheme. But if you ask him to be just a flat-out wide receiver one, beat guys downfield, run routes, I'm not in on him. I'm really not.
I don't blame you for that take because ever since he's gotten paid, the production has dipped. There's no denying it.
Say this last part on Deebo, I don't think he's going to go for that much. I think it would be a day end of day 2, early day.
I know. I think we have 4th.
I think it'd be like a 3rd, 4th round pick.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I don't think
a team's taking on a contract and a guy that a little bit like the Cam Newton of wide receivers. As the hits pile up, you kind of know what you're going to get towards the end of his career.
Like that.
Quick shout out to our friends over at Mando. So if you guys are looking for the best whole body deodorant in the game, get started with Mando today because they've got an awesome deal for our viewers where you can get $5 off their starter pack by just using code CHAT. Mando's starter pack, by the way, is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. Luckily for all of our wonderful viewers right now, I've got that discount code to help you guys out because with warmer weather here, if you're walking to work, walking to school, you don't want to be the smelly guy in the office or in your class. And with Mando, that will not be an issue. So get started today. Use code CHAT when you go to shopmando.com. And new customers with that $5 discount, it will get up to over 40% off. So go to shopmando.com and use code CHAT to get $5 off their starter pack.
All right, before we get into some more coverage on our main Chat Sports channel, we are going to sign off on our Miami Dolphins simulcast as well as our Washington Commanders simulcast. We appreciate all of them and all of you guys for coming in and hanging out with us, but we're going to sign off on both of those streams for the rest of the night. Shout out Dolphin City for the first time $100 super chat, Brian Aycock, Chad Jones, that Dolphins fan, and everyone who sent in some donations on Dolphins Today. Appreciated you guys for coming around for our first live stream. I know it wasn't just me, but we're going to have a lot of those going forward, so appreciate you guys. And for all the Commanders fans as well, have fun with Jaden Daniels, and we'll see what they do on day 2 of the NFL Draft. See you guys tomorrow on both of those streams. Peace out.